Welcome, everybody, to the Giant Bombcast, episode 749. I'm pensively looking at my other computer, making sure it's not on fire, making sure the audio is still going so you can get all of these lovely audio juices in your peepers, everybody. I don't think that's actually a thing. I'm your host, Jan Ochoa, on this lovely Tuesday morning, Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, or whatever you're listening to this. Joining me, as always, the co-captain of this ship. He is I pass him the ball, I alley-oop it to him, and then he dunks it down. We got Jeff Grubb in the house.
Do you think that's what those old-timey like funnels were for old people to hear? They were like, just that's how you get the audio juices into the ear to make sure it all gets in there. It's not going to get all over your face and your hair. You stick that thing in your ears and you just pour the juices in. You can hear everything. Exactly.
That's what they did. And we got the juice master himself, Jeff Bakalar.
Oh, I squoze it myself. Thank you very much. I'm the juice master.
Exactly.
Here, perfectly hydrated.
You remember that old clip of the woman that was stomping the grapes and then she fell over and then it was just
Dude,
for so long?
I just watched that. Oh, I know why you watched it.
You know why I watched it. There we go.
I know why you watched it.
I don't know why he watched it.
Because we both watched the Always Sunny podcast. And those freaks were talking about it.
It's a good pod. It's a good pod.
Oh, that poor woman.
I've been meaning to start that podcast. Sounds good.
The funniest part is like you don't realize how often like people redo that whole bit. Like people redo that in like it's in that movie the State guys, that Wanderlust movie with like Paul Rudd and Jennifer Aniston. They do that bit at the end of that movie. It was pretty good.
You know what else is pretty good? And I'd even hazard to say pretty great. Jess O'Brien. That's right.
It was me.
Pretty
me.
grape.
Pretty grape. Yes.
Pretty great.
You know, this one time I was walking down a boardwalk, as you do, and then a random person went up to my friend who was dressed in all purple, and he just like put his arm on like a surface and goes like, "Ma'am, you look like a pretty little grape today. Have a wonderful day." And then he just spins away and just like starts like two-stepping down the boardwalk to his own beat.
That would only happen on a boardwalk. That entire thing you just described would only ever happen on a boardwalk.
Couldn't do that in a
boardwalk.
bank.
Yeah. Boardwalk vibes. Right. Yeah.
Boardwalk vibes. Yes.
How do you open? Call her a beautiful little grape.
Exactly. That's
what will she make of it? I don't know.
Astounding.
I want to squish you and turn you into wine.
Is a grape? Is that a good thing to be called?
I mean, listen.
Is that like
it's in the eye of the beholder?
Yeah, it depends on what your feelings are about grapes. Because if you don't like grapes, that'd be offensive. Right?
Aren't you looking fine, my little Dippin' Dot?
Oh, wow. Jeff Bakalar, calm down here.
Hey, what's this new voice I have now?
You look like a bunch of little tiny pieces of ice cream that I want to melt together in my mouth. Yeah, Dippin' Dots.
Have you ever tried liquid nitrogen in your ice cream, introducing that in?
Do you ever think about dehydrating your ice cream?
Have you space ice cream, astronauts ice cream? You ever think about how maybe that's hot?
Because you're out of this world, girl.
Wow, you look even better if you purchased one of these new 7 shirts on store.giantbomb.com.
Hey, I'll always be close.
Nice.
ABC. Because you at home can look extra handsome. You can be a cute little grape at home if you buy one of these 7 new shirts at giantbomb.com. I'm particularly a fan of the kitty one, even though I don't even like cats. I'd hazard to say I hate cats.
Are you trying to start a fight?
I'm not trying to
start about that. The shirt. You could just sell the shirt. You don't have to make it about how you hate cats.
It'd be controversial when you're always be closing right now.
Well, you
always be negging cats.
Maybe I'm trying to start stuff. Maybe I'm guilty, and then I should buy the shirt that says guilty on it because it's wonderfully designed. Fantastic designs all over the place, especially the tarot card. Tarot card?
Tarot.
Tarot.
I do appreciate that Rory has said it wrong.
It's Tearbird.
I do appreciate that Rory said it wrong so many times, and now Jan is double guessing how to say tarot.
That's the problem. Rory said it so wrong many times that it created this sort of like earworm in everyone's fucking brain, and now we're all defective idiots saying the word tarot wrong.
I tried bone marrow the other week.
Yeah.
Unrelated to anything, just because it rhymes with taro. Is that a soft rhyme or is that an actual rhyme? I don't know.
Taro marrow.
Rhyme.
I think it's a full hard.
It's a
I think it's a hard rhyme.
Because you don't pronounce the T at all. I think it counts.
Okay,
Yeah,
it counts.
All of us as rhyming professionals here at Giant Bomb, we give it the thumbs up.
Yeah, just wait till episode 766 when everything has to be in a rhyme. I don't know why it's going to be 766, but
did you like the bone marrow?
I did not like the bone marrow.
It's weird. It's pretty, right?
It was really hyped up. It's like, oh, you're gonna love this. This is super expensive, and just eat an obscene amount of it.
It tastes good depending on how it's prepped. Like Italian style, holy fucking shit, delicious. Put on some Italian bread or something. But like, yeah, the texture is gritty and disconcerting.
What is Italian bread?
What?
What's
She
Italian
said the
bread?
Italian way, like the Italian way to prepare
I said
it.
Italian bread. And you
Bread?
asked me, what is Italian bread?
Italian bread?
Wait, bone
Jay, you're not
marrow
asking
in
what
Italian bread?
is.
What's Italian
It's
bread?
like the whitest bread.
Oh,
It's like
boys,
white bread.
Boys.
Wait, Jeff Bakalar, do you not know what Italian bread is either?
No. Of course I know what that is.
I'm going to
Okay.
correct all the boys here, okay? You spread it on the Italian bread.
Okay,
It's
that's
bread.
what I didn't get.
Calm
you were saying.
down.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Italian bread is really good bread, dog. What do you think it is?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
I don't know.
It's like a baguette. It's the Italian version of a baguette.
It's like a French baguette. Yeah.
Yeah. Preferably
okay.
with sesame seeds for sure.
Preferably, yeah.
Right.
Sure. Yeah.
Egg on
Gotta
my
go to
face.
Moretti's in Staten Island. Get yourself some really good Italian bread, okay?
Okay. All right. I'm
I don't
writing
want you to
all
go to
this
Staten
down.
Island just for bread. Look, come on,
Hey,
Jess. You got to throw
No
out
one's
that
talking to
disclaimer.
you, Jersey.
gotta
No
throw
one's
out that
talking to you.
That disclaimer there. Come
No
on.
one's talking to you, Jersey.
But I'm talking to you, Mr. Juice Master Bakalar, because
Yeah.
My God, that's the video game music.
that's the video game music. It's been a hot minute. I feel like I see you, but I don't see you on Tuesdays sometimes. I think you've been playing the cat game despite being a fellow person that does not like cats.
Yeah. I mean, look, cats are fucking stupid. Everyone knows that. But Stray, holy fuck, you guys. I was sick for a very long time.
You got down with the sickness.
I got down with the sickness.
Most
I have
popular sickness.
I have opinions about being sick, but maybe we'll save that for another program. But you know, while during the moments where I wasn't like hallucinating and only seeing the color purple, I played Stray.
Everything looked like a beautiful grape.
Everything was wine colored for a while. And I got to admit, I played a lot of Roller Drome and I played a lot of Stray.
Okay.
And I think Stray is just a really beautiful little package. I finished it the other day with my kid. We played it side by side, you know, after I was sick. And I just got to say, like, what a beautiful experience that whole game was. I'm assuming they captured the nuances and you know, mannerisms of a cat. I can only guess.
I've never looked at one. Yes. Yeah.
I've never seen one or touched
Avoid their
one.
gaze.
If you
It's
look
what
too
you say-
long,
yeah, right. The way you guys talk about it, it does sound like you are both demons who escaped from hell and are afraid the cat's going to drag you back because that's
Oh,
your job.
if there's one animal that's gonna do it, it ain't gonna be
absolutely.
a fucking turtle. Let me tell you, okay?
Yeah, no,
It's
yeah,
gonna be a
absolutely.
motherfucking cat. It's gonna be
Yeah.
motherfucking.
We know this. As Calibers, we're well aware of this. Yeah.
Kill you for $1, cat.
Cat
Let me
owners
tell you.
go-
If you're a demon, correct? Yeah.
I agree with
Right.
the chat. Cat owners go touch grass. Cat grass.
Cat
Yeah.
owners touch cat grass. What?
No, cat haters. Go touch
Okay,
grass.
I thought you said owners.
Oh yeah, it's the cat owners who are the most socialized amongst us. That is true.
Okay, okay, we get it.
So
It's funny
anyway,
every time.
turns
That's why he has to keep saying it. It's so funny every time. We're all laughing. It's
Where
so
my
funny.
dogs at?
I am funny.
The
Okay.
same joke
here's
forever.
my thing. Here's
It
my
turns
thing.
out that's what's up.
I'm a big fan of hip hop and rap music. I feel like you can't get
believe
hype
you.
after like someone meowing on a trap, like or on a track. It's like you can't go meow, but then like you hear like a bark in a track. It's like wow, I'm ready to go. See, like that just gets you going. That's all I'm saying.
No, for sure. Meow is not a call to action. It is, listen, you're going to do shit for me. Like, it's not like me and the homies are going to go out and run with the wolf pack.
It's ringing
Absolutely.
a bell. It's like ringing a bell for service.
It literally is that. Adult cats don't meow to each other. Not really. They only meow at humans because it sounds like babies and it makes us want to like do whatever they want because it's annoying sound to go away.
Geniuses.
They completely manipulate. They're geniuses. Absolutely.
Well, back to the topic at hand and this beautiful little video game starring a complete idiot. No, but it's really good. Holy shit. I really loved everything about it. You know, I think I've seen a lot of praise. I've seen a lot of universal praise about the cat game. And I think the whole picture is a lot better than the sum of its parts, in my opinion, from a strictly sort of like gameplay point of view. I just, I don't think there's really a lot going on there under the surface, but I do think that story, pretty damn compelling. Really appreciate all those robots in that big old can and understanding like what the fuck happened here. Like what happened? I enjoyed, even though this wasn't like the most cerebral narrative ever told, but I enjoy how it was conveyed, and I enjoyed how they sort of like backloaded at the end, and you have a nice little resolution to what's going on. I just enjoyed it. I thought it was really cool, and I thought it was a really fun sort of like entry level dystopian thing for my kid. Right? It's my kid. It's like, I don't understand.
You gotta acclimate him young. You gotta get him used to that now.
Right? Like, let this be a colorful neon world that is terrible, but also like maybe kind of friendly and all right. So I thought that was like an interesting sort of angle where like, he kept saying, he's like, Dan, where are all the fucking people? And in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, you mean all these like human idiots who just like exterminated themselves over probably the most ridiculous circumstances? The way we're headed, like, he didn't need to hear that. He didn't need to hear that.
Thing to tell your child.
Exactly. I was just like, no, dude, there's just robots now, and that's
like, hey,
it.
Dylan, you remember watching Cars? That's all the future is now. It's just cars.
That's right.
That's
I'm
it.
gonna introduce you to Nier.
So
that's the next step. Yeah.
How do you like robot apocalypses, child?
Jess,
So
Grubb, you check out Stray at all? Stick with it at all?
I played a little bit. I think I'm probably good. I don't know. Something about it was like, you know what? I might play a little bit more. I got to the point where I got the robot, and then they put the little backpack on the cat, and the cat laid on the ground. And I'm like, well, that's just like cats. Like, that's what my cat did when we moved across the country, and we had to put a little harness on him so you can go pee outside or whatever. He just is like, what the hell is this thing? And I'm like, oh, this is very lifelike. This is very much like my cat. And that was about like 45-ish minutes into the game.
It's not long. I think we clocked in like 5:20 was like the total runtime.
And I'm just like, I think I'm personally probably okay to not pick it up again. Although the one thing I do like is maybe not so much getting into the story. I don't personally care what happened to the robots all that much.
Sure.
So I'm like, maybe poking around that world and exploring. It's not really a platformer. Not really. Like, yeah, you do jump on stuff, but it's all like sort of context. Like you can only jump on the places that you can jump on, right? Yeah. And it only let you even like initiate that jump if you were in that context sensitive spot. But that's not really a complaint. I think that's the right way to do this game. And it's kind of interesting. I like the thought of maybe going back and exploring that game where I'd be like, I'm just going to look around as a cat and be like, can I get into that place? And if the game lets me in, that's cool. That's probably what I'll go back for. I got it running pretty well on the Steam Deck. I will probably boot it up again now that I've started thinking about it a little bit more. But it's just, it's not winning me over like it has so many people. I think because it's so short, though, I probably will give it that second chance and see if it does.
Okay.
I think for me, that's the thing is like the total length of time this game like borrows is just right anymore. And I feel like I probably would not have seen it all the way through. I knew it was relatively short, so I was like, all right. And I agree, like the moment to moment sort of gameplay, it's really nothing to go wild over. Even the puzzles are just super kind of pedestrian and again, it's not winning you over with that. With me, it's the sort of full package that I think won me over. And it looks great. It happens to look really, really cool. And I think there's a couple moments in that game that fidelity wise, visually wise, kind of tell a nice, little story there. So for me, for my money, that was worth the price of admission there. But I'm with you, Grubb. It's not the most engaging thing.
I guess I'm just surprised that so many people seem to be where you're at, and that's not like, oh, I didn't think that game would get there. It's just like, oh, it must just really, there must be something a little bit magical happening here as people finish it. It probably is the right amount of time. It's probably like it's not bad in any way, right? It's probably like doing a bunch of things pretty good, and some stuff it's really good, right? Is that kind of how you would describe it?
Yeah, it's super simple. It's like it's pedestrian, right? Like you are just kind of like getting through this interactive thing.
Right.
So I think I could understand the want for maybe something more on that end of it. Yeah.
I hear there's a Garfield mod.
Yes, I've seen that.
Is that the something more you've been looking for? I haven't played it yet. I'm looking forward to it. I just have not gotten around to it.
Okay.
I've been watching over my semi-husband's shoulder. He's been playing a lot of Triangle Strategy and Live Alive. So I'm getting a little osmosis of that.
Oh my
because
gosh.
he's way into that. You're way into it.
I'm way too into it. 2 games this week have pulled me away from Live Alive, Live Alive, Live, Laugh, Love. One of those games being the complete opposite of Stray. Well, I guess not, because there's cute animals in it. Digimon Survive.
Dog's Life is the opposite of Stray.
Jessica. Digimon Survive is not respectful of my time at all.
Ooh.
This game costs $60. I understand it's like not very well positioned by the publisher of what it is that you're getting into. Jan, here's what I've heard. It is mostly visual novel, and then occasionally you do some tactic stuff. Is that right?
Yes. This has been on my radar ever since it got announced. We all know that I'm a big fan of Pokemon. I'm equally as big of a fan of Digimon because I was born in the 90s, and I'm obligated to. And when I heard that there was going to be a Digimon tactics game, I was like, holy smokes, sign me the F up. It eventually got delayed, and now it's eventually out. But you wouldn't know that it's out because the way that Bandai Namco has positioned it, like you said, Grubb, almost zero marketing. It wasn't even...
Xenoblade Chronicles 3 came out and got huge review scores and stuff like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that game was getting buried.
Yeah, it's getting buried because on top of that, like, you couldn't even find this on the eShop or on Steam until it was on actual release day.
Whoa, they didn't even have like pre-orders up and stuff?
No pre-orders even. And I feel like that's just like a no-brainer just to get that stuff loaded up. And it is very, very heavy on the visual novel aspect. The portraits that they have are really well drawn. They're animated in some aspects. But if you're looking to, I don't know, have a chill visual novel experience, all of the voice acting is in Japanese. So you got to know that off the top. You can't
know Japanese.
Well, there's everything's translated, but even then the translations are just like all over the place in terms of like tonally what is going on, and it's a real big bummer. And for me personally, I know there's a whole subs versus dubs argument with anime, but I grew up watching like the American voice acting with Digimon. Sure. So I was used, and one of the appeals of Digimon versus Pokemon is that these monsters, your companions, they talk to you. And I guess I just kind of wanted to chase that feeling and everything. The story here is you are a kid with goggles, because to be a protagonist in Digimon, you have to wear goggles.
Yeah. Sure, yeah, I get that.
And you and your friends are at a summer camp. You get transported to an alternate reality where there's Digimon and there's like an ongoing mystery. And like the tactics aspect of it is fine. It's okay. It's very run of the mill. It's probably the weakest tiles of this year, and the's been a lot of tiles this year.
Well, that sounds like a game of the year category right there. But yeah, keep going.
But like,
keep it in mind.
It's just so flabbergasting how this is like this could have been a fantastic JRPG, because this month alone has been a fantastic month for JRPGs with Live Alive and Xenoblade Chronicles 3, that this just really poops the bed. Like where I was yesterday, I was probably 2-3 hours in and had only been in combat 3 times. Everything else.
F that.
That's a lot of talkie.
Yeah. And like a visual novel, there's branching, not necessarily branching paths, but like your dialogue options will influence outcomes, but it's never quite clear what it is influencing. It'll say like, oh, morality changed, or like relationship grew deeper, but it's like, where is any of this going to factor in later? and it just feels like there's a lot missing for $60.
I mean, I think the way you started it is what it sounds like. It sounds like it's not respectful of your time. It sounds like it's a lot of wasting your time. And I mean, I don't want to like kick you off of Digimon Survive before you're done with it. But maybe you can tie these into each other. What I'm hearing about Xenoblade Chronicles 3, and the reason I might be trying Xenoblade Chronicles 3, where I have not tried the previous ones, is one of the first things I've been hearing about this game is it gets right into it. It gets going. Within 15 minutes, you're in a battle and you're like playing the game. I'm like, is that true? Is that really what's happening with Xenoblade Chronicles 3? Okay, I might drop my 60 and try this out.
Yeah.
You've been playing that too?
Yes. That was the other game.
Drop my 60. I like that. Sorry.
Your frame rate, sometimes you got to turn VSync off. It'll save it.
If I'm going to drop a 60.
Yeah, right. That's just how I talk with Dr. Sunshine out back behind the 7-Eleven. Let me drop a 60 on that.
Writing that down. That was the other game I was going to bring up this week. Is Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is the virtual opposite of Digimon Survive, where they drop in Digimon Survive, they drop like an anime title card sequence, and it is not hype at all because the music does not change and there's like no flourishes or anything. It's just like these motion graphics, but the music doesn't change. It's a calm piano. Versus Xenoblade Chronicles 3, in the opening 5 minutes, your team of like ragtag child soldiers shoots a laser at a robot's dick.
That's more like it.
How fucking metal is that?
That owns.
Nice.
So, Grubb, I think this would actually be a good place to jump into Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Okay, yeah.
I don't, and a lot of people are going to argue with this, but I don't think you need to play the previous entries because
there's no way in hell I'm playing the previous ones.
Yeah, because the stories, to even get to 3, you would have had to play a side mission or like a DLC from one of the first 2 games. Basically, there was a god that made these titans, and the titans are really big. People live on the titans. People
I get it.
settle off the titans. To distill it even more so, it's like Dune, Power Rangers, anime, and Gundam.
That's okay. I get it.
Yes.
3 of those were anime.
Yes.
Yeah. So by stating anime separate from those, I get what he's going for.
Yeah, it's 3/4 anime, I guess. But the combat's interesting for folks that have probably only ever seen trailers or videos of Xenoblade Chronicles, because you would assume that it's a button masher, but it's not. You are positioning your character to be in certain spots, and then they're automatically attacking like an MMO. And then you are triggering off specific skills positionally, or timing based, whether you are properly behind someone or to cancel out an ability. The other thing that is kind of a downer with Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and Xenoblade across the board is that, yes, it starts super hot out the gate, and it is very hype, but they are constantly throwing so many tutorials and tooltips at you like every 3 minutes in that opening hour. But that being said, I don't understand why everyone has English accents, but I'm so with it.
Lots of different English accents, right?
Like, a lot of different
Cockney ones. They got some like Irishy, Welshy ones.
And it's so funny because then there's all these like different types of people. You have someone in your party has like angel wings coming out of her head, and then someone's like half of a gray dude. And then you got this little guy that looks like a little hamster rabbit that is part of your party, and he's giving you guff.
What's Cabot? Is that a Cabot or some other game got Cabots in it?
It's a different game. But this
Get over here, Cabot.
This instantly got his hooks into me, and I feel like with JRPGs, that's very hard to do nowadays. Like Yakuza, Like a Dragon was one. Fuck, I forgot what it was called from last year. Tales of Arise was another. But if you are looking to dive deep into a Japanese RPG with a bunch of English accents and just everyone is yelling, that is my favorite trope in the Xenoblade.
You like that, okay? Because the understanding is that there's a lot of it in this game. Everyone always yelling what they're doing all at the same time.
Yes, constantly. and then like someone's saying like, I lost target off me, all right, cool, and then like someone is saying like, got my healing circle on, and then like the healing circle isn't properly placed at all.
I didn't know Mrs. Doubtfire was in this.
And it's just a really fun time, and you know the story is fairly serious, but I think because of the actual gameplay, it doesn't necessarily take me out of it, but it breaks up the serious nature of the story, because Jesus Christ, it opens up with people saying that they only live for 10 years and they reach maturity around like 5 or 6.
Anime. And
then like and then there's like a war scene where like as people are dying, their life essence is getting vacuumed up by like a big robot. It's great. I love it. I'm having the time of my life. I cannot recommend it.
All I took away from this is there should be a Mrs. Doubtfire video game.
Yeah, okay, no, seriously, I've been thinking about it ever since. A Hitman level where you're Mrs. Doubtfire and you have to like, right, and you have to like put on the cake face and stuff to like, yeah, I'm like, I can't stop thinking about it. I've legit been thinking about it nonstop since it got brought up.
Fan art of Agent
like
47
dying.
coming out of the fridge like,
what would they call it?
I need it so bad.
But they like they would
you should make it a Hitman stage, but I don't know like what.
But I'm just trying to think like what they would call it. Right.
They would call like a broken family or some fixing a broken family. I don't know.
Good morning, 47.
Broken family.
Broken family.
Yeah.
Good morning, 47. You must
family was
gaslight your
fine.
former wife.
This is Hitman. There you go. Yeah. Oh shit.
Yeah, he married someone in a level before, right? That's the whole story there.
Right.
Wound up creating a family accidentally, and now he has to go save that family. There
That's
we go.
right. Yes, exactly.
Starring Mara Wilson.
Hey, there you go.
If you had to choose a JRPG to drop your 62 this month, I might say Xenoblade Chronicles 3, even though I like Live Alive a lot. I just know that the turn-based nature of
Live Alive a lot.
The turn-based nature of it can be off-putting, and I've seen some people in
like
our
a
chat.
Antwoord song. Live Alive a lot. Live Alive a lot. Sorry.
Can be off-putting, and then some of the having to shift between the different characters has bothered a couple folks.
I like turn-based a whole bunch, and so I'm probably just legit going to straight up buy Live Alive no matter what, because I enjoyed the demo, and then I'll bug Nintendo, see if I get a code for Xeno, and if not, I'll just wait. I'll wait.
Yeah.
And I'll play it eventually.
Yeah,
I've been enjoying what I've been seeing in Live Alive. I still haven't finished Chrono Trigger, even though I have like 3 hours left of it, which is ridiculous.
Yes.
Gotta get in on that. And my semi-husband's like, don't pay too much attention to Live Alive because you're probably gonna want to play it because it's by a lot of the developers that ended up making Chrono Trigger later.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's a lot of neat little things going on. So
Yes.
I'm kind of like half not paying attention to what's happening.
What has caught your eye so far, though, Jess, from what you've been observing?
It's got like all these different little timelines. There's like a future one. There's like a Wild West one and stuff like that. There's like a fake fighting game type.
Oh, it's good.
Area like
Good.
It seems really cute. There's a obvious Hulk Hogan anime man. And I feel like Hulk Hogan probably should have sued for likeness reasons.
No, everyone should just sue Hulk Hogan because he's a piece of shit.
Yeah, let's sue him.
Oh, he sucks? All right. Okay.
He's a big piece of shit.
He fucking sucks.
I don't know nothing about these guys. I just know what he looks like. He's iconic. He's like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like he showed up in video games. Obviously, it's him, but it's like he's cool enough not to sue about it. And there's a little level with a little robot, and his name is Cube, and he's got little glasses, and everybody loves that little man. So that appeals to me. I like a little guy with glasses. Other than that, I've been playing stuff I can't talk about, embargo reasons. Look forward to 2 Point Campus Quick Look on Friday, I think.
Well, you just spilled the beans there, Jessica.
Oh no, it's advertising the things we're doing. And then I got a key for a spooky game, and I'm too spooked to. I don't know if I'll be able to play it. It's Mortuary Assistant out now, and looking at the trailers for this thing, I don't like it.
What kind of horror are we talking, Jessica?
Well, it's called Mortuary Assistant, so you can fill in some blanks there.
Yeah, like is it? I'm trying to is it a management sim of any sort, or is it just
I would like
person?
that. It is, your first person spook comes first. All this.
Okay.
you think like, oh, here's the horror nerd over here. She probably likes all sorts of horror things. Actually, I'm like kind of picky in that I'm actually genuinely scared of certain things. First person horror that can fuck me up.
Yeah.
Because there's no like distance. You know, when you have a third person camera situation, it feels like it's a little bit of distance there.
Sure.
When it's first person, oh Jesus Christ. Don't like it. And too scary. I also don't like ghosts. I try to steer clear from ghosts. They're too scary.
That's a pretty sweeping.
Whoa,
I know.
Jessica.
Right.
I didn't know
like,
you didn't like
Scooby
ghosts.
Doo probably doesn't scare her, right?
No,
Scooby Doo
no.
ghosts are probably fun, right? Yeah.
Yes. But ghosts can and do spook the shit out of me. Haunted things. I don't like hauntings very much. But I do like occult things.
PT.
You know?
How did you feel about PT?
Oh, fucking mortified. I could not play PT.
Truly scary,
Really?
Yes.
I could not physically myself play PT. It was so absolutely laser focused to freak me the fuck out. I don't believe in ghosts. This is what's really stupid is I don't believe in ghosts. But the whole it's psychologically perfectly engineered to completely freak my shit out. Oh,
this is a very specific.
I saw a
phobia.
screenshot of that lady from PT today standing down that hallway, and I was like, fuck that. And it was just a screenshot I was like, saw on Twitter for a second. Yeah. Actually, it's like they recreated PT in Forge mode in Halo is what it was. I was looking for the news, and I'm like, that's first of all, that's incredible, but I'm just like, no, F that. I don't even want to see that lady.
It's so funny because like Silent Hill games have ghosts in them and shit like that. You know what's the scariest one? The fourth one, because that one has the most ghosts in it. But nobody likes the fourth one because it's not very good. It's a video game ghost.
Are you scared? Are you scared of PT more because of the first person element?
That is definitely a huge factor of it. I also really the photorealistic lighting in that fucks me up too because it's so I don't know if I'm too empathetic or something, but it is so realistic. It is
These
so
hallways,
scary.
I can't get behind them. Gosh.
Oh, it's just awful. Every
but
time
don't you in one time around you do get behind those hallways.
Yeah, do not like things that spook you from around a corner. Things that spook you from like they're staring in from a window outside when it's nighttime. No.
So for someone who likes horror, you don't really like horror.
I know, right? I like the stories, but I don't like the jump scare actual making me really freaking nervous.
Yeah, do you read like a lot of wiki entries on stuff to like get all this like fun? Yes, that's okay. I know a lot of horror fans are like that.
Yeah, so I like SCP stuff and reading that stuff. Like sci-fi horror is really great.
Where does Mortuary Assistant compare? How does that compare to PT and like what? Like, is that why you don't like? Because it's first person, all this stuff. Is that what it is?
It's first person. It's spooky guys that move wrong. They don't move right. They move wrong. Yeah. They like looking at the trailers for Mortuary Assistant. Like just watching the trailers made me be like, no, because like they got some spooky looking guys.
Plus, as an assistant, you're probably making minimum wage, which is scary in its own way.
I feel like that industry pays pretty well.
I would hope so.
You'd be surprised.
I've got a buddy who's a mortician, and I feel like he's doing okay.
I got a buddy who's a forensic pathologist, but it's in a state that does not pay their forensic pathologists as much as they ought to.
That may be the problem.
But yeah, it's got it's got all the things I hate the most. It's got ghosts. It's got bodies. It's got possession. It's got like quiet moments with flickering lights, and it's so simple, but it gets me. They've got the guys in the corners when you're not looking. They got guys underneath things when you happen to look down. They got guys behind you when you look behind you. They got guys outside of windows when it's nighttime. No.
For my own clarification, because I feel like when you've brought a horror game to UPF, it's like very PS1 looky, very polygonal. What is like the look of this?
I can deal with like the low poly stuff a lot easier because it's abstract, right? But the more realistic it looks, the more it just absolutely blows my mind, fucks me up. And yeah, this Mortuary Assistant looks pretty like it's definitely not in a low poly style or a retro style. I don't know if it's Unreal Engine or whatever, but it looks real enough to me, and it's got different spookums, and it seems to have some sort of like phasmophobia sort of angle to it where you have to like identify the types of possessions that are happening and rituals to take care of them and stuff like that.
Single player or is it multiplayer like Phasmophobia?
I think it's single. I gotta like check this out, but I have heard that like once you finish your first shift of the game's not over. you get to keep playing it, and then
Well, you
like
gotta
it
get
gets
promoted.
even scarier.
Mortuary
and
owner.
Right.
Oh
Someone's
man, I'm
gotta
looking
play
at
it,
some
and it's probably
screenshots,
me.
and like you really do have to like get
Yeah.
into the body's
Yeah,
mouth
yeah.
and stuff.
Jess,
I'm
you
not.
just
No,
you
thank
just
you.
signed us up
Oh
for
no,
this.
that guy's not good.
I don't want
He's
this.
so scary. I don't like that man. Are you looking at the guy on top of the cupboard?
The guy that
Yes,
looks
I am, and I don't like. He's looking right at me.
the guy that
I
looks
don't
like
like it.
Gollum.
Yeah,
Yes.
he looks like Gollum.
Gollum.
And he
Gollum. I'm
moves.
going back to Gollum.
He moves
Gollum.
not good. He moves bad. He moves like low frame rate.
I'm having
Like twitchy?
my fight or flight mechanic is kicking in right now, but I got to go away from this man.
I do
right,
not like the man.
Guys,
Jess, we're playing
get a
it.
grip.
We're playing it. It's you doomed us to you signed us up for this.
I know what I did.
This is also
I hate
your
it.
fault. You said like, Jade, you got to play Silent Hill, and then now I just got the horror itch in me. You know, it's like
You know what?
Yeah.
I don't think any video games scare me ever.
Really?
What about really
Mr.
bad
Steel
video
Balls,
games?
we get it.
Jump scares, like no one is immune to a jump scare because it's like, it's just unfair.
What if you weren't looking?
What do you mean not looking?
Well, then you don't get scared by the jump scare because you're like, oh no.
Oh yeah, if my eyes are closed, sure. No, but like I love horror. Movies scare me, but like
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen something in a video game where I legit.
Are you sure? Have you?
I mean,
not
like
played a lot
maybe
of
Eternal
horror games?
Darkness. Maybe like Eternal Darkness.
Not
Oh,
scary.
there's
That
a
was
jump
kinda
scare.
campy too.
Yeah, it's
Eternal Darkness has like a jump scare early on with like the dead lady in the bathtub.
Did you play PT?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Do you try
I mean, that's-
Resident Evil 7?
I merge with that. Like when I see that you know, like shaky nurse lady, I'm just like, fuck yeah. I love that. I'm not turned off by it. I'm just sort of like, oh, pour this all over. Well, you know what I mean.
Mommy, shaky mommy.
Yeah, like I did, like, oh, that little shaky freak. Like let's
Pour
dance
that
with
shaky mama
her.
fluid all over me. Yeah.
I love that. I love how like I do love how photorealistic it is. I thought all that shit was great. But whenever it's a game, it just like it can't get under my skin. But I think movies can more, you know, on account.
It's funny
because
I've been watching a lot of horror movies recently, and they haven't been super getting under my skin that much. And it's
What are we
like the big
talking?
ones, like Hereditary. I was excited to watch Hereditary,
Oh, you
and
didn't like it?
everybody hyped it up a lot. No, I loved it. I loved it. It just didn't like really. I thought it was gonna really fuck me up. I thought I was gonna lose sleep over it and stuff. Not so much, but PT I lost sleep over, and I did not even personally play it. I was watching somebody else play it. So, you know, weird.
You know what? Like recent horror movie bummed me the heck out. It's a movie
that?
called Deep House. It's supposed to be a
Deep
found
House?
footage Deep House. It's
Okay.
supposed to be a found footage movie of a haunted house underwater. And then like when I heard the premise, I was like, "Yo, let's go!"
Why is it
then-
underwater?
It sunk or it flooded. The actual execution of the movie just no bueno for me.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
Deep
come on.
House.
It's
there
just
been a-
sounded so cool though.
It sounds like a music genre.
Has there been a horror movie? Has there been a horror movie that's taken place in like a water cave? Like when I was in Mexico and I
Oh yeah,
swam
yeah.
in like a
sure.
cenote, which was like an underground freshwater cave,
Mhm.
and
Sense.
there was some real close quarters, small breathable areas, bats, and like just general horror elements abound. And I feel like
Maybe that's why you're not afraid of it, because in that cave you were attacked by a vampire, and now you have no feelings anymore. You ever think
I
about
mean,
that?
look,
Is
if there's
that
anyone that
possible?
can pass for vampire, I feel like I'm at the top of the list. So let's go.
Jeff Grubb,
Yes, please.
you've written down EXZodiac here, and with a
I
note,
have.
it's like Star Fox. What's up with this?
It's EXZodiac. It's like Star Fox. It's like Star Fox for Super Nintendo, but with 60 frames per second, which is like when you think about Star Fox for Super Nintendo and you remember, oh, that was like 15 frames per second. It's really a really cool looking game. It's available on Steam now. I think it's not too bad. I think it's like $10. I played it on the Steam Deck a little bit last night, got through the first stage, And I'm like, oh yeah, I really just like the concept of Star Fox even more than I remembered. It's been so long. I haven't played the last couple. I remember playing one of the weird ones at an E3 and just being like so disappointed about it that I'm like, I'm not even going to try this when it comes out, and I didn't. And so kind of going back to that original formula of like just lo-fi, very low poly models flying through relatively simple stages, but with like a little bit extra going on. Obviously, Super Nintendo couldn't handle this, especially at the frame rate. And then having all those that look running at a smooth 60, it's a really cool effect. I really, really am into this game, and it locking onto the enemies feels good. Getting that like quasi 3D reticle to line up the enemies when you're just like spamming the shoot button, that also feels good. And then but it's still mostly on rails, but you still have the freedom to kind of fly around within those rails. That still feels good. I don't know. I'm really into this. I'm surprised how well it can work. I think what it made me think of is it's a shame that we're in this place where Nintendo can't just do this themselves with Star Fox, because they need to sell that game for $60, right? They are telling themselves, if we're going to make a new Star Fox, that needs to be a new $60 game. And therefore, we can't make it look like an old Super Nintendo game because we wouldn't be able to justify that in the marketing. And I'm like, that's a real bummer. That's them talking themselves out of something that would really work and be very cool. And I think that Nintendo themselves would have like really great art chops to make that sort of fly off the screen. But the market realities prevent them from even attempting that. And I just think that's such a bummer. It's so, but hey, we got indie developers doing it instead. And it looks just like Star Fox. It really does.
Yeah, that aspect is great. It's interesting how cagey Nintendo is about some of their IP, because they went and lent Legend of Zelda to gosh, I forget the name of that game too. Like the
Cadence of Hyrule.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Cadence of Hyrule.
What is yes. And then what is it based on? I can't. Necrodancer, Rhythm of the Necrodancer. What is the
Crypt of the Necrodancer?
Crypt of the. Thank you. Yes, Crypt of the Necrodancer. Yeah.
And like that was a small indie title. I don't believe that was a full $60 game, right? It couldn't have been.
No, you're right. You're right. And it's like I remember when that happened. We were talking about it on a podcast, and I was saying like, oh, we're going to get 1 million of these things now. They're going to do another, like, they're going to do a Zelda 2 remake with an indie studio doing that. And I'm like, yeah, that makes so much sense. They haven't done anything like that since that game. And
I did Hyrule Warriors, I guess, but
yeah, but
that's not an indie game. But I mean, it's still the IP is in somebody else's hands that you wouldn't normally see, I guess.
And and they do a lot of those kinds of partnerships, but you could see the difference, right? Hyrule Warriors looks like a $60 game in a screenshot in a marketing blurb, and it's like Cadence of Hyrule doesn't. It's like, well, yeah, because people are really excited about that. It seems like it did pretty well. Why don't we just do more of that? And it's like, well, they keep doing more of the one thing, and they're not doing more of these indie partnerships. Whatever. It bums me out, but I also get it. And it's not like I'm not going to play the indie-inspired games. Instead, I will, and I'm really enjoying it.
Totally. You know something else I'm enjoying, Jeff Grubb?
What's that?
That is the game. That is the game of the week.
Yes.
Hitman 3 Ambrose Islands DLC.
Yes.
Grubb, you had two devils on your shoulder last week. I wouldn't even say guiding you through the game, almost inhibiting you, demanding you through the game. And then I wound up picking it up afterwards, and Jesus Christ, Hitman, it's a great game.
Good.
Turns out
it's good.
Yeah,
it's very good. There is a lot going on in that stage, it turns out. So we kind of scratched the surface. It was we did the obvious things that they put right in front of you, right? That slap fight in the very middle of the map, in the middle of all the commotion. Of course, you're going to go do the slap fight bet thing first, and that was great. Like it led to some cool opportunities. It was it's just another one of those great examples of Agent 47 being this real ham and being like just super funny in every situation he's in. And then on top of that, though, like you kind of like get off the path a little bit, and it's like, oh, there's still more going on over here, and like, oh, there's all these things, these lanterns you can light, and oh, I found a pirate outfit and a cannonball. What can I do with that? And you start like looking at the challenges. You're like, oh, maybe I can use this cannonball to do something. And it's like, it's just one of those great maps where there's so much going. And I think there's like way more than even that I haven't discovered yet. I'm playing on my Steam Deck. I was gonna play some more last night and I didn't get a chance, but tonight I'm gonna go in there and it's great on Steam Deck. It really is.
Didn't even think about Hitman on Steam Deck. Jesus Christ.
It runs real well. You get FSR on there to make sure that you keep it like a 40 frames per second frame rate. It's great. I'm really loving it.
Yeah, I thought that. Just sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I'm always like shocked and amazed at the intricacy of these clockwork levels.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine how much talent and energy goes into making all these little pieces go together. Like it's so, like I said, it's so intricate. And there's so few games out there that have this kind of like extreme, not just level design, but like narrative design, like interwoven with the level. Like it's just so crazy cool. Oh my God, Hitman.
Yeah. I had a fantastic time when Dan and I visited the IOI studios. Just everyone there just seems so jazzed about the product that they're making, the game that they're building and everything. And I think the most interesting thing that I was thinking about when I was playing through the Ambrose Islands DLC is that your first run through all of these maps, it's always very misleading. I always think like, oh, I guess I got the most out of it. And then like you do another run and it's like, oh, there's something else going on here. But for as much stuff as you mentioned, Jess, I don't think I've ever had anything break on me.
No, like there's so many contingencies.
Yeah.
For there's always a way out of a situation. Like if some path closes off to you, 2 other paths open up because of that. It's just like the care and the foresight that goes into designing something like that is just bazonkers to me.
Yeah, you can also tell that they've gotten very, very good. And one of the best pieces of evidence for that is the DLC maps for both Hitman 2 and now for Hitman 3 are some of the best maps. It is like clear, like this isn't leftover stuff. These aren't scraps. They just keep getting better every time they make a new level. And Ambrose Island is it's so good. It does everything you kind of want. It has like, the locked away part of the map, which is like difficult to get into, but there's cool stuff in there. There's like an underground portion. There's the big city, there's a big village where all kinds of stuff is happening. And there's lots of different costumes you can get. There's a hippie in the middle of the jungle that you can go, pretend to be and go do another deal with as the hippie. Like there's so many different things, like pockets of interesting things. And the way that these connect is all very good. And then, it's just, I don't know, like you said about the story, all that stuff connecting everything is just so well done too. I just think this is a studio that really knows what they have here and knows how to make the most of it. Yeah.
And I forget. It's IOI that's supposed to be attached to making a 007 game, right?
That is right. They are making a 007 game next.
I feel like I haven't heard any news about that since that was announced.
It got announced very, very, very early. To the point where I don't think we are going to hear about it again for several years still.
Okay.
And so the nice thing is Hitman 3 did so well, it was obvious that they're like, oh, it's sold well enough that we can justify doing DLC. I don't think they originally planned to do this DLC island. And it's like, it did so well. We got this. They're doing more. It's the kind of game where I think I've played it on the Xbox a whole bunch. When Hitman 3 came out, I got it on Epic, and so I could play it on Steam Deck. I just got the Steam version, and I've been playing on that. And I'm like, oh, my Steam version doesn't have much unlocked. I don't care. I'm just going back and playing all these levels again.
Yeah,
that's so good.
Hitman's one of those rare games where I honestly do not mind starting again.
Yep.
Because some of those
maps,
to
just go out and get those masteries and stuff. It's good.
Yeah, like some of those maps, like I feel like I know Sapienza in and out. At this point, just very well acclimated to that map. And now I also can't stop thinking about a Mrs. Doubtfire DLC.
Right?
God, it'd be so perfect.
You'd have to really like juggle, going back and forth in a real satisfying way. Like when the social worker comes.
Yes.
The dinner at Bridges.
See, but the thing is, they nailed it with the Knives Out castle level, right?
Yes, right. That's what makes me think they could, and that also makes me really want them to do a train murder mystery. They have the train. Take those characters from the murder mystery level, put them on the train, and remix it. I mean, please, like that sounds like such a simple. I bet it's very difficult, but it sounds like simple because you already have all the assets. Please just do that.
Make a Clue.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh
I don't know how you would make like an Oceans video game. But I feel like IOI would figure out how to do like a good heist.
Yeah.
IOI.
They have the bank level, the Hitman 2 DLC bank level. It's like maybe just add to that.
Make a National Treasure video game.
Yes.
Well, let's not get crazy.
Please.
Okay?
Yes.
Please.
I was with you on the Ocean.
We have the power now to digitally render Nicolas Cage. We could do it. We can do it justice finally.
He will
just
act
not
his
there
butt
yet.
off. He will do it so hard.
We only accomplished Cats in the last year. Nicolas Cage is obviously the next logical evolution of this technology, but we're just not there yet, folks.
When when me and Mike Minotti were first starting at like a website called Bitmob, it became a joke because he had never seen Aliens and Alien, but he really, really loved National Treasure, and he said those were like some of his favorite movies, and so that became the running joke for years and years. Because National Treasure.
Okay, that has gone over my head. Please rewind, walk it back, unpack that.
He hasn't seen many great classic films like stuff like Aliens and stuff. But hey, have you seen Aliens?
Oh,
like,
okay,
no.
okay. I thought they were somehow cosmically connected in a way that I was not aware of.
Right,
okay.
they can't. Right, but he was like he had seen National Treasure 1 and 2 multiple times. Yes,
sure. It's the Dan Reichert effect.
I love National Treasure. Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's exactly right.
Hey, up until a couple years ago, that was me and The Godfather, but I had seen The Pest 20 times.
Yeah, you know what though? Like, I think that's better. That's like a better track record than Aliens versus National Treasure. I feel like.
Okay. Are you saying
The Pest is our Godfather?
No.
Are you saying National Treasure is not on his top 10?
On Cage?
Yeah.
I think it's on the bubble. I just a real quick mental inventory.
Yeah,
it's probably on the bubble.
Like top
bubble,
15.
Yeah, I really like the National Treasure movies, but they are not like.
Okay, I'll play this game.
Oh,
this is just off the dome. Okay.
All right.
Raising Arizona, leaving honeymoon, leaving Las Vegas, right? It's called Leaving Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Yes.
An adaptation. The Rock.
Matchstick Men.
I've never seen that.
I like Matchstick Men. I don't love it, but I like it.
Color Out of Space.
Color Out of Pig. I think you guys don't like Con Air. I love Con Air.
I love Con Air.
Con Air's just so fucking stupid.
Yes, it's stupid in like the
I'll
best
give you
way.
Con Air. I'll give you Con Air.
Kiss.
Moonstruck, even though I'm not the biggest Moonstruck fan, you absolutely have to put that on the list.
I think Vampire's Kiss is a top 10
It's
movie.
so good.
Yeah, so we're already Mandy for sure.
Yeah.
So we're already at 8, and there's no way fucking National Treasure's surviving
National
2
Treasure's
more.
gonna make it in, dude. Sean
Face
Bean.
Off. Face Off beats
Sorcerer's Apprentice, Gone in 60 Seconds. Any of these?
Face Off beats absolutely beats National Treasure. I'll even say Gone in 60 Seconds is probably beating
I won't then. No, not that one. No.
All right, fine. Bubble. So we're at 9 already, and I'm sure we forget. We said Raising Arizona.
Ghost Rider?
Not Ghost Rider.
We did.
Ghost Rider's not good, but it's
nope.
great.
That doesn't.
I will take Unbearable Weight, his new joint. It's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best romantic comedy I've seen.
Yeah, people love that movie. It knocks out National Treasure. That we have our 10. It's gone.
Okay. Yeah. Here's here's IGN's top 15 real quick, starting from 15. Color Out of Space, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, which I haven't seen yet. That just came out.
Really good, yo.
Kick Ass, which I think is actually pretty good.
I forgot he's in that.
He was good in that.
He is good in that. Red Rock West. I don't even have heard of that. Pig, which is one people really like. I haven't seen that.
The Wicker Man. Fuck yeah.
Con Air at number 10. Let's see, Wild at Heart, which you watch for Laura Dern more than for Nicolas Cage.
I watch everything for Laura Dern.
Of course you do. National Treasure at number 8.
There we go.
I knew IGN was fucking there in the pocket of Big Cage.
I know. Wait, is it? Okay, keep going, Grubb. Keep going, Grubb, and then tell us who wrote this.
Yes, The Rock at number 7. Yeah, it's good.
Alex probably doing a guest fucking.
Mandy at number 6. Oh, is this? It is, isn't it? Mandy at number 6. Number 5, Raising Arizona. Number 4, Valley Girl. Number 3, Leaving Las Vegas. Number 2, Moonstruck. I remember when he did this. Number 1, Face Off. And written by, let's see here. Oh no, it's Matt Fowler. So this is maybe he did. Did he update it? Yeah, no, okay.
Every 3 years, Navarro.
Polygon, right?
Yeah, every 3 years, Navarro gets hit up. Like when Nick Cage does something amazing, they're like, "Who's our number 1 Nick Cage guy?" And they all go to Navarro. And Navarro has like 6 months of work. Just
watching all the movies again.
He's the Nick Cage correspondent.
All right. Well, I gotta go take a lay down and think about National Treasure some more.
But the takeaway, Jan, I'm sorry, my friend. National Treasure is not in that 10 at all. Maybe it's in 15. Maybe.
15 easy.
15.
I'll take a soft 13. A soft 13.
Soft 13. You're gonna not hit on 13. You're just in Vegas.
Of Nicolas Cage or whatever.
I'm gonna stick on 13. Are you sure?
Alex did a video feature on IGN this year, the 40 most Nicolas Cage performances. So if anyone wants to look that up,
Nicolas Cage.
That's pretty good.
And I remember he was watching all the movies for that, so he put the work in.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Vampires is a legit, I think, masterpiece. It is so good.
Oh, it's so good.
Which?
The Vampire's Kiss, the one where all those gifts come from of him and just acting so wild. It turns out, I'm like, oh, this is stupid. It turns out it's in the character, and that's the way the character should act. It's incredible. What a good movie.
I heard he based Christian Bale based Patrick Bateman's his performance as Patrick Bateman off Nick Cage.
That checks
out. Yeah, that works.
That's funny.
All right, folks. Well, you have your game of the week, and we've talked about a bunch of games. I think we should, take a little bricky break, think about some things, and maybe we'll talk about the news. Little cat nap. Huh? There we go. There you go, you little cat friends. Jess, we're driven by what ifs.
Whoa, don't get me started. Me too.
And what if hiring didn't have to be so hard? What if finding someone great could be as easy as asking them to apply?
What?
What if your dream hiring platform already exists?
I don't know, Jan. I'm a little skeptical.
You need Indeed.
Whoa!
Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place.
So you're telling me that instead of spending hours on multiple job sites searching for candidates, with the right skills, Indeed's a powerful hiring partner that can help me do it all?
Yes, because you can find great talent faster through time-saving tools like Indeed Instant Match, assessments, and virtual interviews.
Whoa, so like, what I'm getting here is that with Instant Match, over 80% of employers can get quality candidates whose resume on Indeed matches their job description the moment they sponsor a job, according to the data from the company Indeed US.
Yes, because one of the things that I love about Indeed is that it makes hiring all in one place so easy, because Indeed helps star applicants to shine with over 135 assessment tests from cooking to coding. Because as you know, Jess, if you can properly dice an onion, you can maybe code a website.
No, yeah, cooking and coding, almost the same thing. Onions have layers, programs have layers. I understand completely.
Even better, Indeed's the only job site where you only pay for applicants that meet your must-have requirements.
So it sounds like to me that Indeed is some sort of incredibly powerful hiring partner, delivering 4 times more hires than all other job sites combined, according to Talent Nest 2019.
Yes, join more than 3 million businesses worldwide that use Indeed to hire great talent fast.
Start hiring now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job at Indeed.com/bomb. Offer good for a limited time.
Claim your $75 credit now at Indeed.com/bomb.
Indeed.com/bomb. Terms and conditions apply.
Need to hire? You need Indeed. Jessica, you went to a wedding recently.
I did.
And you know what one of the most stressful things of a wedding is for a person wearing a suit?
No, I don't wear suits to weddings, although I would like to, honestly.
Well, Jess, one of the most stressful things about wearing a suit is looking a little frumpy, because sometimes you're renting a suit or you're wearing an old one that doesn't quite fit. It pinches you in the wrong places. But with Indochino, you can have a custom fit suit at affordable prices, and it's fully customizable. You can choose all the details, Jess, from the lovely suit as a whole, maybe just a shirt, or even just a dinner jacket. All of this to your own custom measurements.
Actually, this is relevant to my interest because my partner, my semi-husband, he's a little guy. He's 5'5". And you know how hard it is genuinely to find anything that fits this dude? It's really hard. He's short.
Well, there you go, Jess, because I ordered a pair of pants from Indochino. Ordered a lovely olive pair of chinos, and I wear them everywhere. You know, sometimes when you buy something off the rack, you got to break it in. It doesn't quite fit. You maybe have to get stuff tailored, but these make my calves look so good.
Oh.
Yes.
So we talking calf flattering chinos. All right.
Calf flattering chinos. My partner has said to me once, "Wow, look at your calves today." Anytime I wear these pants.
If your partner doesn't say that to you, why aren't they? You gotta get some of these pants.
It's not real. And I was able to shop online. I just had to submit all my own measurements online, was able to do that at home, but they also have showrooms you can visit where a professional tailor can measure you for these pants, your suits, or your shirts. The best part, Jess, is that Indochino's suits start from just $429 and shirts starting from $79. And every suit to your exact measurements, and you can customize all of these deets. You can create a suit that fits you and your style. So Jess, if you're looking for a suit for your semi-husband that's gonna make his calves and all of him look great, I think you gotta go with Indochino.
I've been longing to see his calves at peak performance, tell you what. So you've got a big day coming up. Getting the perfect look is no big deal with Indochino. Get $50 off any purchase of $399 or more by using the promo code BOMB at Indochino.com. That's $50 off a purchase of $399 or more at INDOCHINO.com. Promo code BOMB.
Look at those calves. Jess, I hear that you have to issue an apology.
Not an apology. I have to issue a warning.
A warning?
Do not neg my short king. Yes, it was mentioned in the ad that my borderline fiance is a short man.
Borderline fiance? How many nicknames you got for this guy?
This is like as many of like my nursery book rhymes.
Yeah, it's Schrodinger's husband. Is he like you got to look at him, you look away? Is he a husband's quasi husband? Yeah.
We stand short kings on this podcast.
Yes, short kings, small hands. You know.
Do not be rude to the love of my life. Thank you.
Who's being rude?
You confused.
I'm confused in many ways.
People are saying he should shop in the boys section, the children's section.
Well,
yeah, you save money.
That might be economical.
Little, but he's not that little. He's shaped like a man. He's just short.
He could get really cheap J's. He could get some really cheap sneakers.
The boys section, all right, the shoulders are really tight. The chests are very small because they're for fucking boys. He is a guy. He's just 5'5", and it doesn't fit.
5'5's not that short.
The proportions are not the same.
But
so,
the borderline fiance could wind up looking real yoked in those little kid suits.
Real uncomfortable.
And then everyone's like, "Damn, Jess, what's Chip been doing? What's his routine?"
I don't think I think there's some stuff that would probably fit. But yeah, I feel like 5'5's not that short though.
Well, feel free to link me to the Kohl's and Targets that have
you want maybe some hand-me-downs? Is that what you're saying?
All right, let's talk
about.
Dylan's
15. Give me some hand-me-downs.
Let's talk about the news, Jeff Grubb.
Yo.
We have discussed about dressing up as Koichi and Yukako from JoJo before, actually. Short king, tall girl.
I don't know.
Relax, those are fucking spoilers.
Oh, there's a short guy and a tall girl at some point in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I don't want to know. We just started.
We don't know their dynamic or anything.
We just started Stardust Crusaders.
I don't want to spoil anything, but there's Boris and Natalia and Rocky and Bullwinkle, and they're tall and short. I'm sorry to spoil it for you.
Boris and Natalia have stands. Have stands of Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Squirrel. That shit. Yeah. Dude, fucking Rocky and Bullwinkle, man. How about that? What a timely reference.
Am I misremembering that Danny DeVito was Boris?
Gumby?
Wait, in like the new movie, they made like a new
movie recently.
Not recently, y'all. This was like 2000s or something.
Really? I don't remember. Okay, I thought okay, man, listen. At a certain point, everything's recent.
No, it's Jason Alexander.
Jason.
Wow.
Short king.
who's like your second pick for Boris. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, Danny DeVito would have been a fucking lock, but at some point, Danny DeVito was like, "Look, I can't fucking be this guy."
Rene Russo. Oh.
Someone says it's Robert De Niro.
No, he was also in that movie. He was also in.
Yeah,
that
he
movie.
was like the leader guy. He was like the other dude. He wasn't Boris.
I kind of like.
Anyway, Grand Theft Auto 6 details happened. Grand Theft Auto 6 will feature a female protagonist for the first time.
And a short man as well.
Natasha
Right by
Boris,
her side.
finally.
That would be incredible. That would be very powerful duo to lead up a Grand Theft Auto 6. These details come from Bloomberg. Jason Schreier wrote a bunch of stuff. Basically, his story had a lot to do with the improvements at Rockstar. We'll talk a little bit about that. But first, for the game,
improvements at Rockstar.
Yes, improvements at
Patch notes.
Yeah, the patch notes for the human beings running the studio.
Human rights violation patch notes.
Yes, exactly. The working title of the game is Project Americas. The main location is a fictional version of Miami and its surrounding areas. I wonder if there's a reason they're saying a fictional version of Miami and why it's not just straight up like Vice City. I would imagine maybe the timing is like, is it going to be a modern version of Miami and not a 1980s version of Miami, which works?
Yeah, I think that's the
stuff.
I think that's the thing.
Yeah,
like you can't parody. I mean, look, you can parody the 80s, right? But like, I don't know. I feel like the fruit is ripe for the picking of like contemporary America. You don't call it Project America. Like this current version of America is the one you got to do parody on, right? Like,
yeah. And one of the reasons they're going that Project America's title is because they were originally planning on having multiple locations, multiple big cities in this game at launch. As part of the treating your employees well, though, they've pared that back to just Miami for now so that people can go home at night. And then eventually they are going to add other locations. I am of the opinion that they will do much of the East Coast, and including eventually Liberty City in this game. Do you guys think that's... I think so, but maybe Mike Minotti disagrees. We talked about this. He's like, no way, that's going to be GTA 7. I think that they're going to do up to the Liberty City and a lot in between. And maybe like we'll probably go south and probably do a little bit of South America as well.
So you think this is the last GTA, basically?
I think this is. I think they are thinking of this as the last GTA for the next 10 years.
Right.
So I think because of that, I think they want to be able to add in major locations that will spruce up GTA Online 2 or whatever it is over time. And one of the ways I think a huge point on that map going forward is we're going to do this little thing, and then Liberty City is like in a couple years when we want to like really blow this thing out again, we do that. But that's just me guessing.
Well, my question for you, I want to hear what you have to say, Jen. My question for you is, are you basically, is this another way of you saying that like the iteration releases, however you want to, like, is that thank you, is that what we are saying goodbye to? And like this is now just
right?
I know, but I'm saying like, you had a 5, this is going to be 6, and then it's just like, $60 every 2 years to get the new stuff. Like,
yeah, I don't think they're going to want to wait until a GTA 7 to have more Liberty City content.
Yeah.
And I think you put Liberty City in this online version, and hopefully this online version for them, they're saying hopefully this continues on for pretty much forever. And then when we do release a GTA 7, we could do something completely new and spectacular. We could do Tokyo at that point, try something from a completely different angle that is Yakuza. Exciting in its own way. If you're fair enough, yes. So
maybe just a better GTA with no
Rio
vehicles.
de Janeiro. With any other games there? Yeah, Rio
don't
de Janeiro.
Don't do Delaware, okay?
Wilmington.
Don't do Delaware.
Cleveland, come to Cleveland, baby. Here we are.
I was gonna say I could probably see them going to Latin America based off of like one of the protagonists supposedly
South
being
American one
Latina.
would be
Yeah.
sick. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I think they do go south. I think they
send me to Cuba, man. Like
I think they go to Cuba.
The stories you could tell in Cuba. Oh, it's so good.
Yes, and the woman character that you will be able to play as, she is a Latina. I think that makes a lot of sense. They don't detail much about the male character, but they say that these characters are influenced by Bonnie and Clyde. Yeah, of course they are.
Yeah, it didn't end too well for those two.
I mean, but I don't think it ends too well for any Grand Theft Auto character, though, right? Like they're all kind of tragic figures, right? Yeah. Let's see. So the changes at Rockstar: more producers to help avoid overtime and to avoid crunch. You could say that I think immediately everyone could say to get this game out, they're going to work a lot of overtime. And I think that is correct. We've all worked overtime to finish projects, right? It's a normal thing. It's part of finishing projects. The thing that they are trying to avoid is crunch culture, the thing where it becomes normal for you to crunch 80 hours a week for years and years. And it sounds like so far they've been able to avoid that. I think the big question is when they get to the point where they need to sprint to that finish line, that part where crunch is expected and people want to crunch because they do want to get to the end of the project. How do you recover for that? What is the pathway back to, okay, now everyone can start getting off these exit ramps and getting back to a 40-hour work week? Are they able to pull that off? That's going to be the big question. But they've put processes in place, like they have schedule changes. They've converted a lot of contractors to full-time employees, which I think helps avoid a lot of these issues where it's like, well, those people are just contractors. You can avoid those issues. They've specifically removed abusive employees, which, what exactly does that mean? Hopefully, it's probably the people responsible for a lot of this environment in the first place. There are new mental health and leave benefits, and the staff is more flexible with their time. Is kind of how the story breaks it down. These notes come from Nibel on Twitter, so shout out to Nibel. The other big thing from the story is they said they're going to think about their jokes more, and they've already done stuff like remove transphobic jokes that were in Grand Theft Auto 5, I believe. And going forward, the idea is we are going to be more thoughtful and we're going to punch down less. Some people took this to mean that they are going to turn these games into E for everyone going forward.
It's going to be woke.
How could you interpret that? That's crazy. What are you talking about?
Yes. Right. And it's I think if you look at stuff like other similar sort of things, especially from the same time, we have pretty good things that we can look to parallels in stuff like South Park, where I'm not a huge South Park fan anymore, but it's clearly has changed over time as they've changed how they feel about things. I think that you can expect the same thing from an institution like Grand Theft Auto to change over time. And to me, this is a good thing because those jokes in Grand Theft Auto 5 actually aren't, in many cases, very good. They're just not very good. And it can only benefit them if you think about them a little bit harder to maybe make a joke that actually can stand the test of time a little bit better. That sounds like a good thing to me.
Agreed.
Yeah, it does not age well, a lot of these.
Yep. A lot of these
GTA jokes don't age well. Go after the long-standing institutional issues. Those jokes will age a lot better than going after the scarecrow of the week or whatever.
Let's make fun of
or just a funny name for McDonald's or whatever. Just think a little bit harder about it actually and come up with something better.
I'm hopeful, but I don't know. Skeptical?
Yes, absolutely.
I'd like to see these things happen.
Yeah, exactly. These games are going to come out, and one of two things are going to happen, or both things are going to happen. People are going to be offended by the game still, and then the people there's going to be people who are like, oh, here's an example of how they went woke. And they're going to blow some minor thing up into some big conspiracy about how they went woke and now they should go broke or whatever. And it's going to be a big jerk off fest. It's
got to be tough. Obviously the evolution of people's taste and nuances and all that stuff. Don't forget the entire idea of writing a thing over the course of 7 years too, right?
Very good point.
Possible.
Which is just oh wow, what an impossible thing to do.
Also, another factor might be that so they're trying to cater to new audiences while still maintaining the faith of their older audiences who when the games originally came out, the target demographic was 15 to 25-year-old little edgelords from the early aughts. And it's those people are now having their own kids. Are they still edgelords with bad senses of humor?
You'd be surprised.
It's kind of a delicate line to walk where it's who are we actually demographically aiming towards? Is it still the young 15 to 25-year-old demographic? If so, we have to change how we make jokes because they don't find those same jokes to be funny. There's different things now,
I think we underestimate the masses sometimes in how much they hate wokeness and appreciate punching down just because it makes themselves feel better.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Also, apologies for using the word edgelord. You know what I mean. Don't get caught up on it.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see with these games. I think that my position with Grand Theft Auto for a long time has been that I feel I've never felt too attached to those characters. and especially it was very noticeable to me after the Saints Row 3 and 4, where those games had stuff to say about their characters, and they would establish lines of introspection, especially in Saints Row 4, where like there was characters like going back and meeting their previous versions of themselves and having like arguments with themselves and talking about how they would change over time and talking about how this used to be problematic and oh well you're the woke one, you're the no fun Shandy or whatever. And I'm like, this is incredible stuff like that, like for a video game to be having this dialogue with itself. Grand Theft Auto has never seemed interested in anything even approaching that stuff. And I think that's actually maybe more the direction they should be heading in. That would be more interesting than just continually just being sort of a nihilist take on American culture, which is
and
whatever.
they've had their cake and ate it too beforehand, because like GTA 5 had like a pretty interesting thing going on about masculinity and like how, you know, you're like what caste you're born into greatly affects like what type of crime you're more like likely to get involved in, and how masculinity ties into all that shit. But also, you know, it's GTA, so they were still punching down a whole lot, and it's like, oh, there was this little glimmer, this little morsel of like something interesting to grab onto, and it's like, you know, I'd like to see more of that, but we'll see.
A KOTOR remake is in trouble. This one also comes from Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg. Bloomberg reports that the Knights of the Old Republic remake is indefinitely delayed. Apparently, Aspyr finished a demo of this game, showed it to Lucasfilm and Sony, who is co-publishing the game, something along those lines. We don't exactly know what the details are there, but Sony showed this at one of their events a while ago. This happened on June 30th, and the developers were very excited about it. Like people working on the game were very excited to finally show off this vertical slice. A week later, however, the company fired design director Brad Prince, and art director Jason Miner. On his LinkedIn page, Miner's Aspyr credit shows his end of employment as July 2022. And his profile image currently features the open to work frame. Aspyr reportedly held a series of meetings in July after this vertical slice was shown off about the situation to tell employees that the demo wasn't where they wanted it to be and that the project would be put on hold. The studio heads also told staff that the company will be looking for new contracts and development opportunities. Now, as part of the answering the questions, they never really touched on internally, at least like in these open meetings, why exactly all this went so bad. But one of Bloomberg's sources suggested that it poured a disproportionate amount of time and money into creating that demo, which to me, it sounds like this is what happened. They worked really hard on this demo, but it is a vertical slice, and to break out that vertical slice, it was going to take years and years, a lot more money. And when they showed the vertical slice to Sony and Lucasfilm, people might have liked it, but I don't think anyone was going to be too happy with the expected budget to complete this project. And so everyone involved kind of had to like go back to the drawing board and be like, do something maybe smaller. It's kind of what it's, and then Aspyr's like, oh, well, we know we needed that money. What are we going to do here?
Excuse my ignorance here, but is that the common thank you cycle for like game dev or like pitching with stuff, is like creating that vertical slice to show?
It's like not necessarily that exact act, but what is very common is to have to meet certain milestones.
Sure.
And whether that's showing off a vertical slice, an actual working demo, whatever, you are constantly meeting these milestones and then renegotiating everything along the way. This happens at multiple points, multiple times per year, often, but definitely like at least like twice a year. You're gonna have these big points where you're gonna meet with the publisher, explain what's going on, explain how your vision has changed, and then at that point it's like, okay, well, you need more money. Do you want more? Would more money help? Or are you good so far? And it's like nightmare. Everyone involved expects these things to happen, but you're right, Bakalar. It is still a complete nightmare.
It's so much easier to make a movie than a video game. I feel like we don't say that enough.
Yeah.
Like yes.
And not just that, like media, like TV shows, right? Which are now like the upper echelon, right? Like everyone wants to make like a 10 episode thing for whatever, right?
Yeah.
Even that, which is like a 10-hour plus movie, is a walk in the park compared to making a fucking video game. Oh my God.
Yeah. Like the dumb stuff I used to have to do, like that would get turned around into a TV show, a whole episode 5 months later. Just like fucking compared to game dev, where it's like God, these people poured in like months and months of work, hours and hours.
Right.
Especially a show that like is on its like third or fourth season where everyone's just like in the groove and they're all just like bing bang. It's
I mean, and you're not the cameraman is not in charge of developing his own camera every single time.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like the person the person he borrows the camera from, Epic with the Unreal Engine, isn't constantly updating and adding new features that people demand you take advantage of.
Amazing, we have
every once in a while you get HDR and stuff like that.
It's a miracle we have any video games. And also, you know, as pointed out in the chat, TV shows and movies, they're made by union people a lot more than video games are. So I mean, there's difficulties inherent in that as well.
Yeah, software plus art is like one of the worst and best ideas humanity's ever had. It's like when we turn to art software, it's just like, oh man, you could do a lot with that. It's like, oh my god, this is a mess. What have we done here?
Just dropping gems today, Grubb.
It'll shake out. It'll shake out in like 40 to 50 years. Don't worry about it.
Exactly.
I mean, did you see the stuff that Stadia is putting out? You could just put a whole new palette over your whole game. That's easy.
That's right. Yeah. Let AI make the art for you. There you go. NPD Group has released its results for the first quarter of the year, where they provide some like signposts for how the year is going. As has been the case with most of like the earnings reports from companies, things are trending downward. We'll go over this and we'll kind of put a lot of that into context. U.S. consumer spending declined 13% to $12.35 billion in Q2. That is a spending decrease of $1.78 billion. Most of that decline, $1.71 billion, came from a decline in content spending. That means like on the games themselves, whether that be new game purchases or in-app purchases on your phone or in like a free-to-play game like Fortnite. Non-mobile subscription content spending was the quarter's only growth category. So that is stuff like Game Pass, stuff like PlayStation Plus. Now, an important thing to remember that with that is every time someone is picking up one of these new systems, PS5 or Xbox Series X and S, a very high percentage of them are buying these subscription services to go along with that. It is just built into the expected cost at this point. Hardware and accessories. I mean, that's one of the reasons like Microsoft reported their earnings and they're like, oh, Game Pass is growing for us. And like people are like, you didn't add a ton of games to Game Pass. It hasn't mattered too much because it's getting bundled for a lot of people in their minds.
They're like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, not yet. So it's going to matter pretty soon. But yeah, so far it's like as they sell new Xboxes, they're selling Game Pass. Hardware and accessories were down 1% and 11% respectively. And this is a quote, I think, from a quote from their mobile guy, Randy Nelson, over at Sensor Tower. While our projections foresaw a downward trend in mobile spending as life in the U.S. began to return to a new normal and consumers had fewer opportunities to engage with these titles, the current economic environment has clearly contributed to a more expedited decline. Still, the expenditure by U.S. consumers in mobile games remains higher than it was pre-pandemic. The reason I added this quote is that line right there. Exactly. It is the complete context here. Things were way up during the pandemic. They are coming back down, but not back down to pre-pandemic levels. There are still, for lack of a better term, there are more gamers now than there were before the pandemic, just not quite as many as there were during the height of the pandemic.
Totally. Yeah. Friends of mine that were on like their PlayStations for a whole year during like the peak of the pandemic are now like all their stuff is collecting dust because now stuff is slowly opening up. They're just going out.
But they made those purchases, right? They made those purchases. And so when they get to a point where it's like, hey, I am trying to save money one month, one of the things they might return to is their console, and they probably will continue spending on there just less frequently than they did during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Interesting.
There's a list of games here below that we're not going to go through all of them. I highlighted the games that are for console. I think one of the things or like stand out, like Pokemon Go. One of the things I noticed when I was covering mobile games earlier in my career is very quickly it became very stagnant. And this is a list of games that like made the most money for like during the industry in Q2. Those games are still that were number one at like in 2012, still number one. Candy Crush Saga, Clash of Clans. At a certain point, those games just are forever juggernauts. And I'm like, wonder if a little bit of that has begun to happen in console gaming, where not just stuff like Madden is still around, but Mario Kart 8 has been at the top for forever, and that's like
I don't think I'll ever get it. I don't think I'll ever understand. Like I understand, but I don't understand.
It's one of those things where I feel like everyone I know already has it, How can it just be like the #1 seller and has never gone on sale? Maybe gone on sale like once, right?
Yeah. When it does, it's like it's not $20, it's $45.
Yeah.
I think we underestimate how many families are out there. Is what it is. And
there's no families.
and every
Furious
day
told me different.
Yeah, exactly.
Every day, a young family gets like, oh, now my kids are old enough. I need to like find something to keep them entertained all the time, and I don't just want it to be YouTube. What's out there? Well, hey, I know Nintendo, and I know the one game I'm definitely going to get.
It's the bloomin' onion, right? Everyone can agree on that.
Yeah,
we'll just get that for
they
the
don't
table,
have that at Cheesecake Factory though.
They're like, fuck it. What are we gonna get?
Man.
Oh, everyone likes a bloomin' onion. All right, let's try that on.
Grubb, I think you're onto something because you look at some of the other games here. You have Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which you can play co-op with your kids. Lego Star Wars. Kids love Lego, right? And Star Wars.
The games that aren't Elden Ring, the games that aren't, Grand Theft Auto 5, the ones that are on here that are sort of in that. Yeah, you're right. It's family games. I think it's an audience that is large and relatively silent in terms of like when we have these discussions. We don't like their voices aren't heard. They are here for a different reason than many of us are here, and it's for family entertainment, like just getting together, having a reason to get together in front of the TV.
Look, the only thing on this list that we have to get rid of is Roblox. Like that's the only thing we have to get rid of.
I would say Ebony: The King's Return.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
Keep saying that, Grubb. What's your problem with Ebony?
Is that like a porno game? What is it?
Do you remember on the side of websites where the lady would be like, "Come hither, my lord, and save our kingdom. Come play, my lord."
It's one of those mobile cleavage games.
It's not one of those. It is that one. It is the same one since those days. They've changed their strategy to be the one. And you guys did a very online show about this, where it's like the misleading mobile ads, where it's like pull the pin, and they're like,
and that's not what the game is.
Now on TikTok now. It's beyond that. On TikTok, this game's like, are you sick of these ads where you go in there and it's not really like that game? Well, this one is, and it's still not like it.
It's still not the game.
Respect, man. I take it back. Respect. That's amazing.
Shit, Ebony.
The ultimate con. No, but Roblox is now pissing me off in a way that
Is your kid
like, they got rid of the sound, right?
No. Yes. No. That's also a thorn in my side.
Rico sounds. Rip.
The problem, Roblox is just starting to like. It's kind of like a sickness now, where it just doesn't resemble. Like for a while, I was like, "Oh, this is." Yes, I came down with Roblox 19. No, like it's just there's something very upsetting about it. Everything is like deceptive and shitty and a knockoff and not great. And like he'll play Roblox and then he'll do this and then we play Stray and I'm like sitting down next to him. I'm like, don't you see a difference here, brother?
No, they do. Kids love trash. Bakalar, you know this. They love trash.
Right. But like, look, they do love trash and they do seem to love like just knockoff shit. Right. Like that to me, I don't get. I just don't. I get it. Like you reach a certain age where you're just like quality is a thing. Like,
it's processed food. It's like it's been chewed up, all the rough edges are taken off, all the nutrients are taken off. It is just that stupid sugar going right to your brain, and you don't have to worry about like there's no subtext here. This game's not trying to tell me anything. It's just a dumb cat running through an obstacle course.
Ice cream for dinner, right? Like that's what it is.
You haven't seen my Roblox levels then, because it is nothing but subtext and nuance. Jeez.
I mean,
eating your vegetables.
It's just like I just hope it's something he outgrows. To be totally honest, like I'm just gonna come out and say I hope my son outgrows Roblox.
So I think more likely you'll outgrow it and you'll be like, man, you know what? Trash rules too. That's gonna be. I don't know, because like he plays a lot of Minecraft too, but I think Minecraft kind of rules. Like, I think Minecraft's dope. I think there's a certain level that game kind of achieves that Roblox is just this sort of like below the fold. It is the fucking tabula of video games. Like it is just like the worst common denominator.
Wow,
it is back of the magazine. It is back of the magazine classified ads that are just like trash tier garbage. I hate it.
Looking for a good time, my lord? Play Roblox.
That's basically it. It is just it's upsetting.
I think there's something about this younger generation of gamers, and this is now I'm the old man now, since I'm over 30, yelling down at the children. But
Yeah.
I've noticed that my cousin, when he was like 5 or 6, really jazzed to try out Minecraft for the first time. Now he's like 13, 14, and like that is still like his main go-to. So I feel like whatever trash that these kids start with, they're going to have a soft spot for this trash for forever. Because now
that's us too.
Yeah.
That's us too.
Yeah, because that's us.
Is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like think about how much like Super Mario has like infected all of our brains, right? Like what's better, 3 or World? And then like the same thing is going to happen to future gamers where it's like, you know what? I really liked what they did with creepers in that one patch back in like 2063. Not actually 2063, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, man, remember how they changed the sheep? I miss the old sheep.
I miss the noise in Roblox.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that was
Share
a Tommy
if you
Tallrick
remember.
original. Yeah. It's
Like the best thing he's ever done, right?
I think so. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. Sony forecasts weaker PlayStation sales. Sony has cut its annual profit outlook, warning of weaker PlayStation game sales. This goes right back to what we were just talking about, where people are just playing less games, but at the same time, they're coming off a quarter where sales were down for a little bit for game. Oh no, they were down 26% for software sales on PlayStation. But the comparison there is pretty obvious. Last year, would they have like Ratchet and Clank in the same quarter and Returnal and a few other things? This year, they didn't have anything in that quarter really. So that's a big part of it. But at the same time, people are also just playing fewer games. They sold 2.4 million PlayStation 5s, or shipped them at least into the retail chain in Q1. That's up 4%, but it's a little bit behind what they want to be for the year. They want to ship 18 million PlayStation 5s this year. To get there, they're going to have to be like above 5 million per quarter going forward. Overall, though, they are also still above pre-pandemic levels. So obviously they are, because they launched PS5 since then. But even without that, it's clear that they have built in this momentum and they're going to carry that forward. But they're going to have a little bit of this correction that they're going to have to deal with this year. And they're still dealing with PS5 shortages, right? So as they come out of that, and they expect to, they say they think that they're past the component shortage part of the issue, and they think now it's supply chain issues, which supply chain of actually delivering PS5s and not delivering the components. So hopefully here pretty soon, a lot of that stuff will come, wriggle out of the supply chain, and they'll be able to get PS5s to people as like more regularly going forward.
Man, what a fucking wild ass, weird, fucking tangent, bizarro world we've fucking entered, man.
Yeah, it's like right. It's like one disease in China got like just mutated in the exact right way, got into a human, and now we have dealt with the circumstances in a million different ways ever since. Yeah, it's like, but I mean, these are the kinds of things that are probably going to keep happening as the world becomes more connected and stuff.
It just showed you how vulnerable literally every functioning system on the planet was.
And do you feel like we've shored up those systems in any real way? Fuck no.
No. I just got a text. I just got a text about monkeypox recently.
You got a text from who?
No, I just got a text about monkeypox saying like, "Hey, monkeypox vaccines are now available."
Yep. It's bad in California, right?
It's bad.
It's all bad. Fucking Christ, it's all bad. Yeah. But yeah, so these companies are going to have to continue trying to navigate this stuff just like we all will. And really, that mostly means pretending things are normal until it's right at your front door and it's kind of too late. There isn't a lot of work being done to shore up these systems in any real systemic way. So you kind of have to figure it out on your own. And that is a metaphor for life. So wonderful. A big point in the Sony earnings that I wanted to point out here, 79% of game sales were digital as opposed to physical. To me, that number is really big. Like, I guess, where are you guys with that? Because when people talk about buying games, I guess maybe I'm also surprised at how many people talk about physical. I'm like, for me, I'm all digital. So, and then I hear people talk about like, well, I only buy physical games. And I hear that so often. I think it turns out there's this big majority, though, that's pretty quiet about, I'm mostly just buying physical or digital,
I think still the fact that 1 out of 5 people are buying a physical copy still seems like a lot to me. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
That still seems like a lot. I don't know. Did I do the math right?
Yeah, checks out.
You got it.
Yep,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think this maybe goes back to they do have those digital only PlayStation 5s. Obviously, Xbox has Xbox Series S. That's probably pushing up these numbers a little bit. I also think that a lot of families that we can go back to them again are probably getting these systems and mostly expecting their kids to play stuff like that are download only: Roblox, Fortnite, Call of Duty Warzone, all kinds of, and like when it comes time to buy a game, the idea of going to a store or ordering off of Amazon doesn't really enter into their head because they've been conditioned like it's on the store right here, right next to Fortnite. That's where you get the games from, just like on my phone. My phone doesn't have a cartridge slot, doesn't have a place to put a disc in. I think it's so natural to people now to go to the store and get things there we've moved past that. I guess the bigger question here is, does the PS6 or the Xbox Series as the next generation systems, do you think they even have disc drives?
No,
I can't see that.
No.
How's that happen?
Well,
I don't think so.
Sony maybe because of the whole Blu-ray stuff and whatever physical media they're gonna evolve into afterwards.
Yes, maybe. Even then, though, I think it's very likely that they would rather just have those profit margins from selling stuff digitally than put printing discs.
Like that's like maybe just a special built to order, right? Like all right, we got another disc version, someone go make that one.
I mean,
like
they save on manufacturing and shipping costs like crazy, like, and also like there's the idea that you don't really so we keep seeing this happening. The 3DS store you can't access anymore. This store you can't access anymore. You can't buy anything on the Wii shopping channel. Like it behooves these companies to have planned obsolescence built into it, where it's like they can release a collector's edition later that's also not physical, that you can't physically keep and play forever.
Totally.
Here's where we are.
Yeah, I mean, like so many games now, if you download them on like the opening week or month, it will be like, hey, you got all these digital exclusives.
Yep. I think that they can see a million ways to make more money from digital, just like you guys have detailed there. I think that's probably right.
Do you see if like physical media goes away and they start saving on not having to press discs anymore? Do you see the price of digital downloads going down, or do we just stay up? No?
Yeah, I think the thing is, everyone wants to have that Nintendo like long legs of we can keep these games at higher prices for longer, and like Sony's trying to push things in that direction. I think being able to control the market on your store a little bit more is part of that. So yeah, I think trying to keep prices higher for longer is definitely part of the digital future. Yeah.
Someone pointed this out in the chat. Sorry, I missed their name, but like, also when you put in a disc now, what is even on that disc? Because there's so many patches that you wind up downloading.
An old version of the game.
Exactly, right? Like an out-of-date version that may not even work or fire up anything.
And in some cases, it's almost just a like license, and like we are always going to go, not even install anything. Yeah. Exactly, we're not going to install anything.
Physical discs are not the physical games anymore.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Right, exactly. Let's see.
I just think I think the thing that's always sort of like confused me, and it's just the way things have evolved, right? But like when you look at Steam, right, that just is this multi-generation after generation sort of constant. Like I wonder, like, do we, I used to think that like, now that the legacy compatibility thing seems like it's starting to materialize more confidently and more concretely every single generation, like we could reach a point where you do have that kind of ownership in the way you have ownership of a game on Steam, where like a game I bought on Steam 12 years ago is something I still grab and play. Obviously the platform remains constant, so that's why there's that compatibility. It changes with consoles. I wonder, like, is there a future where like things merging towards that? It's probably more wishful thinking than anything else.
I would love that, because then games would actually go on sale versus stuff in like the eShop and PlayStation Store. I mean, the stuff does go on sale, but like not as dramatically reduced as they wind up being on Steam.
But like, to me, I'm sure someone maybe has done the math, but like, to me, like having that legacy sort of like ability to continue to own that software that worked for the platform that's 2 generations old, to me, like there's probably more inherent value, right? Because you are still using the platform to play the game, even though it's old, right?
Yeah.
Like you would imagine that there's some, kind of incentive to to stick with that and to be able to offer that. And
is that what Game Pass is like, just shooting for, to just keep everyone in that ecosystem, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's what it is. That's what the product is. That Xbox makes Game Pass for all intents and purposes. I mean, like, that's what they make,
and that's why it's worth like that. Like, people talk about, oh, is it worth it to them? Are they making money on it? This is such a long-term play.
Yeah.
It is about them spending the money now to create something. It's going to be a lot of money, but they're going to create something now that they don't then have to pay a premium for to acquire later.
Right.
Because someone's going to do this. And someone's going to corner the market on it. And they're like, we see the one opportunity. We've missed out on iPods with Zune or whatever. There's a million like failed Microsoft products of trying to catch up, spend money to catch up to someone else. This is the one time they're like, we are getting out ahead and we have all the resources and the know-how to make it happen now. And the end goal there is to be a sort of Netflix-like thing. And unlike Netflix, it's not going to be super easy for someone else to step in and just do this with their own IP. As we mentioned, making games way harder than making movies and TV shows. Let's see. Sony avoided answering questions from investors about a price increase for PS5. They were like, we have nothing to say right now. But the only reason this came up is, well, two reasons this came up. Inflation is wild. Things are more expensive. But also Facebook raised the price of the Quest 2, the Meta Quest 2, whatever the hell that thing is called. If PlayStation were to raise the price, they would probably just do the same playbook they've always done, right? A revision, with more storage, maybe a new design, maybe a slim or something like that.
That's how you soften the blow. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And I think they couldn't just get away with maybe they could. I think both these companies probably regret not going for 500 instead of 600 based on what happened over the last couple of years. I think they could have all gotten away with $600
easily
for their high-end boxes. Right. And they're probably kicking themselves a little bit, but they know they can't go and undo that toothpaste out of the tube, right? Because gamers are loud and would not be okay with that.
Yep.
Let's see. Sony told Brazilian regulators that Call of Duty has the power to sway consumers to Xbox. This is like... these are the kinds of things where the Brazilian regulators reached out to a bunch of companies and asked their opinions on this. This isn't like Sony whining about this stuff, but basically they said Call of Duty is so popular that it influences users' choice of console, and its community of loyal users is entrenched enough that even if a competitor had the budget to develop a similar product, it would not be able to rival it. This is this is the point of the acquisition where these companies are just trying to register these issues, but it's probably not going to be enough to be like, oh, this enables Microsoft to compete with us more. It's not going to derail the acquisition in any real way. But it does seem like Sony, for comparison, Apple was asked by Brazilian regulators as well, and Apple's like, whatever. Okay.
So you're saying this is brought up as a means to combat some kind of antitrust situation?
I think Sony's trying to make it as clear as possible that it's Call of Duty is a very, very big mover and shaker in the industry, and it's if someone were to corner that, it might begin to move levers of the market towards something like monopoly. But mostly I think it's just them being honest about what they feel about Call of Duty so that they can answer these questions accurately when they're speaking to a government regulator. Lawyers very likely are the ones filling these things out. That's probably what this is more than anything. It's we're just gonna be honest. This is how we feel about Call of Duty. It is massive.
This is what Call of Duty means to us.
Exactly. But it's I mean, I asked this on a poll for Game Mess Morning this week. Will Call of Duty on Game Pass, for example, move more people to Xbox? It probably does, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's for that audience. I think if they could probably, because they already have to spend $10 per month at least for each console for the online multiplayer, and all those people they're going to want online multiplayer. So Xbox says, well, for $5 more, you get the online multiplayer, you get all these games, including Call of Duty. Why not just do that instead? And also, you can hang out with your friends here, and crossplay is a big thing. We're not doing anything with crossplay. So if some of your friends stay on PlayStation, you're going to be able to talk to them still. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like they're going to try to pull off that move.
Oh, Brazilian regulators just sound so cool.
Yeah.
Brazilian Regulators is one of my favorite hip hop groups. Absolutely. Let's see. Pokemon Direct tomorrow at 6 a.m. Pacific time.
It's so early.
Go, Jan.
Yeah. Only a fool would wake up early enough to do anything like that.
I thought it was today, and I woke up in a panic.
No, you didn't. Oh. You didn't.
I did think it was today too, because you did say yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, yesterday you said tomorrow there's a Pokemon in the morning. I need to see.
Woke up at
I'll try to
desperately
wake up too,
and
that means I'm totally just gonna sleep in. Just gonna sleep through it.
Why do they hate me? Why does the Pokemon company hate me? I've talked nothing but highly about all of their games. Just do it at 8, please.
They just want to make sure you're paying attention, you know?
Yeah.
How am I gonna make hot memes when I'm barely awake?
Sometimes those are the best. Sometimes those are the best memes.
Yeah, it's like you just want to watch in bed, even if you weren't going to do any kind of like watching in bed, you're like, oh, I got to do something with this, and try to do something on your phone. It's a pain in the ass.
Maybe I'll just have an iPad by my face and point my camera at my...
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
All right.
They're obviously going to talk about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, but maybe we get updates on Pokemon Unite, Pokemon Go, and Pokemon Sleep. There you go, Jan. You wake up early so you can practice for sleep later in the day.
There we go.
Is that thing ever going to come out, or do they never mention it again?
I think they had like a toothbrush app or companion app that came out.
They do have that.
Yeah,
they do have that. Absolutely.
Maybe they're just trying to team up with all like the CPAP production machines to like, hey, how can we get like some hot Pokemon action in your freaking CPAP machine?
I take on Snorlax finally. Absolutely.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
He's part chicken wing.
Sega Genesis Mini 2 will be in much shorter supply. This is, I guess, a PSA. I think you could probably still pre-order this on Amazon. This is a weird thing where it is coming out here, but it's being delivered from Japan. So even if you order it through like Amazon in the United States, it's being shipped from Japan. So you're going to have to pay shipping and handling on top of everything. It's not like it's a prime delivery. I think it was The Verge, I think, or Polygon reached out and asked about this and said, what's going on here? Like, what's the deal with like the supply and all this stuff? And the answer they got is the number of units for this project makes up around 1/10 of the total for the previous Genesis Mini.
Wow.
So this is going to be in very short supply. I have mine pre-ordered. Yeah, right. Like, why? I don't get why.
To be fair, I only want to play 1/10 of the games that are on this thing as opposed to the first one too.
I think this one's more interesting than the first one because it's got like Sega CD stuff on there. But
I get it. Making that joke. Yeah.
But yeah, we've also maybe moved past these. Maybe that audience that was like thrilled for the NES Mini, like, which was a much wider audience.
Remember that?
And they've been like, I never played those things.
Oh my gosh.
Simpler time back then, right?
Someone at a Goodwill, and I thought, like, is this a toy? Oh wait, this is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
I found mine the other day, and I forgot I like put all the extra games on it. I was like, I don't even remember doing this. How did I do this?
I only saw those at a barcade, and it was like connected to all the TVs and stuff like that. And I thought, like, this is kind of convenient for barcades. Just like stick it on the wall. This TV's for Sega bullshit. This TV's
but
for
think about those controllers.
I did think about those. They had the exact same situation at 16-bit in Cleveland. I went to a few weekends ago, Jess, and it was they had the Genesis Mini, and like one out of the 3 buttons on that 3-button controller worked properly, and the other ones were just sticky and stuff. Obviously, like covered in beer and human filth. But I still tried to play it. I played like some Golden Axe or whatever. It was fine. It was a good time. Let's see. Sony is ending PS5 accolades and a nation mourns.
No.
Okay. Raise your hand if you know what a PlayStation 5 accolade is. Notice mine is down.
Yes, mine is down too. Jen, yours should be up based off that sigh. What the hell?
Here we go. Here's my hand.
Oh,
there
nice.
you go.
Okay, explain what that is, Jen.
It's like I'm a little sad, is why. I have a little hand on my hand.
Yeah, it's got a hand at the end of his finger.
Okay, what's an accolade, Jan?
A plastic accolade he's wearing on his finger.
Yeah, does Jen, do you know what an accolade is on PlayStation 5?
I don't know what a PS5 accolade is.
Put your mini hand down there. You don't know what the hell you're talking
Take it off.
This function enabled you to award teammates and opponents badges based on their play style, so you could say they were helpful or welcoming, for example. This is that's according to
I support them removing this.
I never even knew where to do this. I'm like, they're taking it out this fall apparently, and it's like I'm kind of feeling like it's my goal to see if I could just go in there and get someone to give me an accolade.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to just give it to me. I want to earn it. Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
I genuinely have no recollection of what this thing is at all.
For real. Yeah.
I hope it frees up some hard drive space. Jesus Christ.
They had to get rid of this to make room for folders.
Yeah, exactly. The PS5 now powerful enough for both, of course. What is? Accolades is coming. Yeah, they'll drop them in fall of 2022. It will no longer be supported. The feature hasn't seen the level of usage we anticipated, so we are refocusing our efforts. We encourage the community to continue to send positive messages to one another.
Oh, I knew about it, of course.
Nice.
Could just tell your friends you like them. Just say, "Hey, man, your booty is fly." We that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Totally.
We stand you, short king. Hell yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, hell yeah, short king.
That wasn't one of the accolades, and that's why no one used it.
Exactly. This is totally just the forced obsolescence of moving from one console to another, where it's like, well, you can't stay on your PS4. It doesn't have accolades, and then people who don't have a PS5 go like, an accolade. I have to have that. And then you get the thing, and you never use any of this new shit. You just use the same stuff you were using on the PS4. Just say it looks better. But when you move from one system to another, it helps to promise all these gears and gizmos. It happens to cars all the time. So yeah. PS5 has been updated to have 1440p support. This is very good for people who play on monitors. Yeah. I also had a Samsung TV that does 1440p, and
really.
With HDMI 2.0, you could get 1440p and 120 frames per second.
Oh, wow.
So it was like, this is the best of both worlds for not having HDMI 2.1 yet or whatever.
That's neat.
Yeah, and I thought it was a cool feature. Do any of you have plans to use 1440p on any of your consoles or PS5 in particular?
I mean, every monitor I use is 1440, but I've never thought about. It's just not how I'm set up in this house.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, but most people aren't. It's important. It's definitely an important feature.
I like that they're adding it. But I probably won't use it too much personally. But yeah, when I do bring it over to set up a console with a streaming setup, 1440p might be the way to go in some cases.
Yeah,
I probably need to get a new monitor.
Sounds like it.
Sounds like you need a whole new setup over there, Jan.
It's going in the trash after this.
Hell yeah,
right. Disposable PCs. Here we go.
Yeah. Mario Kart 8 Wave 2 DLC is coming August 4th. Here are the courses. In Turnip Cup, we get New York Minute from Tour, Mario Kart Circuits 3 from Super Nintendo's Super Mario Kart, a Calamari Desert from N64 game, and Waluigi Pinball from the DS game, which I'm very excited about. And then in Propeller Cup, Sydney Sprint is from Tour, Snowland from GBA, Mushroom Gorge from Wii, and then they have a new course, Sky High Sundae, which is what it sounds like you're just driving through desserts in the sky.
Aww.
Just like so good.
Yeah. Yes. Nintendo good at desserts, right? That Kirby game coming out looks fantastic, right? And
that one Mario Odyssey 2 level with all the little fork people. Delicious.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen a Mega Tomato in Kirby? I don't even like tomatoes, but those look delicious.
It's a Maxim tomato. I'm sorry, but I'm calling
still
it
delicious.
Out.
It is ass. Yeah. August 4th. I think we're gonna be playing it sometime this week. Maybe we might be busy. We'll see. If not, we'll be playing it soon because I like Mario Kart 8 a whole bunch. It's a stacked week. Exactly. I'm like, we have a million things going on. But yeah, I love Mario Kart 8. I'll be playing over the weekend at the very least. So yeah.
I bet you we all have it.
Yes, I think everyone here and everyone already has it. Maybe it's like some money laundering scheme. Nintendo's just laundering money through Mario Kart copies. AEW Fight Forever platforms and match types have been revealed. It could launch in September, according to some reports. And the game is currently listed for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Switch, and PlayStation 4. Xbox One not listed alongside PlayStation 4 there. The modes include single, tag team, 3-way, 4-way, ladder, casino battle royale, falls count anywhere, unsanctioned lights out, exploding barbed wire death, and online co-op multiplayer matches.
Death?
Exploding barbed wire death.
People don't die in AEW, right?
Match.
Like that's not like a joke part of it.
Get really
maybe they haven't done any exploding barbed wire. Yeah, they get real
like ECW, old school bloody. Like how are we talking here?
Yes, that
close to that. I wonder.
They bleed a lot, and then during pay-per-views they bleed like that. Yes,
you can do. I didn't realize you can pin anyone anywhere.
In a pin anyone anywhere match, baby. False count anywhere match.
Yeah,
but so it's not all the time like how you said. No, right? Yeah,
no, it's certain matches. Yeah,
it still has to be the floor. You can't pin someone against the wall.
You should in the zero gravity match. They should. That'd be sick.
What is a casino battle royale, Jan? Do you know that one?
Casino Battle Royale is AEW's convoluted way to do a Royal Rumble. So instead of one person going out every 2 minutes, it's a group of people coming out at like 5 or so minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Apparently it's also listed for PC. I am looking forward to this game. It's made by Aki. I think it's Aki is how you say it. Maybe it's AKI. And those are the people that made the N64 wrestling games. They are obviously trying to capture that with that here. So yeah,
cool.
Finally, Call of Duty will have premium paid content in 2023, as opposed to a full release, as we previously have heard that they were going to skip next year. Well, it sounds like they're going to skip next year, but they'll still have stuff for you to purchase, of course. Activision has claimed that Call of Duty will receive new premium content in 2023. In a statement during its Q2 2022 earnings report, Activision stated that across the Call of Duty ecosystem, the teams are well positioned to support these launches with substantial live operations, while also continuing development of premium new content planned for 2023 and beyond. This week's statement could refer to paid DLC, something that was once a staple of the franchise but has lessened in recent years, or a spin-off game such as the long-rumored standalone Call of Duty Zombies game. Bakalar, you're a Call of Duty expert. What do you want them to do when it comes around to fall of next year, and you've been playing Modern Warfare 2 or whatever it is this year, that entire time, and it's okay, now it's time for more content. What kind of content would get you to spend more money?
Well, I'm going to answer that question with a question from myself. So
sure.
What's the deal with this year? There's not going to be a Call of Duty, or there is going to be a Call of Duty?
There is a Call of Duty this year.
And it's Modern Warfare.
Modern Warfare 2.
Modern Warfare 2. Okay.
Yeah.
So when
Modern
they
Warfare
say
2, yes,
right. So when they say new premium content, are they how are they categorizing that?
That is how, as far as they've gone as defining it, but I think that's pretty clear that it's not a new standalone release like a Black Ops 7 or whatever. It's going to be a continuation, I think, of Modern Warfare. They're going to focus on that, and probably a lot of Warzone stuff too, obviously.
Right. So that's the thing, right? So I think for me personally, I still default to the online multiplayer. Let's also take a step back and say there's a lot of work to be done to get my to recapture the attention that I had in the fall of 2020 when actually it was what was it? Yeah, it was the fall of 2019 was, in my opinion, the last great online Call of Duty game.
Yeah,
which one was that?
Before it was it was Modern Warfare, and then what was after that? I'm trying to remember. Was that Black Ops Cold War after that?
Yeah, so this is and I'm romanticizing the one before that. So it was the original
Modern Warfare, not the original Modern Warfare,
right?
The new Modern Warfare, yeah,
the original new Modern Warfare is what we're talking about.
2.
Yeah.
So my colon.
Vanguard was the last one. Vanguard, the World War II Vanguard is the most recent one.
So, like I said, obviously Vanguard did a lot in the way to deter my attention. I hated it. I think a lot of people really bounced off that game quite quickly. So yeah, a lot of earned sort of trust and fanfare has to be done in the way of me getting back on board with that. When you talk about,
the series is down overall. That was one of the talking points in Sony's thing when they were talking to the Brazilian regulators. It's even in a down year, it still makes a ton of money, but they said straight out it's in a down year.
So, what does back to your original question of what do they have to do a year from now, or roughly 14, 15 months from now to recapture that? I don't know. I think it's probably in the way of, I think the map release cadence that they were able to hit with that Modern Warfare reboot was super satisfying. And I think that's what allowed the game to have such a long sort of shelf life for me. It was also kind of one of the first times they went in that direction where all the maps were free and it was more about the battle pass and the other things. So I think the novelty of trying that out for the first time, maybe was it the first time that the maps were free? Maybe
they've been free for many years at this point, but yes,
there was some perfect sort of formula that they hit with that
A lot of people are playing because they got into Warzone and then they decided they wanted to get the whole game and stuff like that. Yeah, a lot of stuff was all hitting at the right time.
But it seems like to me that the premium thing would be another Warzone / Battle Royale adjacent map, right? Like,
yeah, but they're not gonna. That's gonna be free to play, so it's gonna be something related to Warfare or to Modern Warfare 2, I think. So like Spec Ops, I think standalone zombies sounds like the most likely thing. Having a standalone zombies because they're gonna have something like that in Modern Warfare, and then the next year they would normally have something like that ready to go. So that will probably still be ready because they're on that cadence. Maybe the rest of Call of Duty is just not ready. So standalone zombies sounds right to me. Jess, you're in charge of Call of Duty. What do you turn that into to make yourself interested?
Cocaine, because it makes me so tired to listen to anything.
Cocaine makes you tired?
No. It comes with a little baggie, you know?
Right. That's good. That's good. That's just good salesmanship there. You got it.
Ooh, me falling asleep.
You need that physical copy there, I guess.
We throw Mrs. Doubtfire into
Oh, there we go.
Hey,
Seriously,
all right.
I buy that skin 20 times before I buy fucking Rambo or John McClane or any of that shit.
Yes.
Hello, like, come on, that'd be amazing. Jumping out of the plane.
Oh, you know,
it's underway. Are you kidding?
Can we all do our Mrs. Doubtfire voices?
Hello. Yeah, it's the best. It's the best. We're all bad at it.
It's probably going to come out to Fortnite first.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
Yeah.
I just see her with like the vacuum, like with the vacuum cord, like dancing the way Mrs. Doubtfire did.
Is that the Victory Royale dance at the end?
Hell yeah.
No, she just puts a cake into her face.
Yeah.
That does her war paint. That's her war paint.
All right. Well, that just about does it with the news, I guess. What about we take another quick bricky break, think about some things, and we, do some coke. I mean, read some emails. Fade into black. Jessica, summer's starting to wind down, right? And fall can be a skosh chaotic.
I'm sad summer's winding down, but fall, everyone loves it.
Everyone loves it. And you know what I love also about the fall? I love the fall foods.
Ooh.
But Factor's ready-to-eat meal delivery makes it super easy to stay on top of a busy schedule, sticking to my goals or your goals, our collective goals. And Factor's the perfect meal solution for an on-the-go lifestyle, whether it's quick lunch at my desk in between meetings or a fully prepared dinner that I didn't have to shop or prep for or clean after. They've got me covered for weeks when free time just isn't a thing.
Ooh, Factor makes lunch and dinner on busy days a total breeze. Their fresh, never frozen meals are delivered ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes, so I can fuel up fast and get on with my day.
Yum.
I got things to edit.
Things to edit because Factor's new Protein Plus preference makes it easy to power up with delicious, satisfying meals with 30 grams of protein or more.
Factor now offers 30 plus meals per week and 33 plus add-on options like smoothies, juices, snacks, and more to keep me going all day, every day.
Factor puts in the work so I don't have to. Their registered dietitians and expert chefs work hand in hand to create meals I can feel good about eating every day, and sometimes just multiple times a day. Sometimes I'm stuck snacking on these smoothies that they got and all these other little energy bites.
Factor even knows your preferences because they offer vegan and veggie protein plus stuff, keto stuff, calorie smart options. If you're on a specific dietary restriction, no problem. They got cold pressed juices, smoothies.
Wow.
Energy bites.
Let's go.
Extra protein things. Veggie sides.
Veggies.
Oh my God, there's just so many options to keep you fueled and focused all day long.
Head to go.factor75.com/bomb130 and use code bomb130 to get $130 off across 6 boxes. That's code bomb130 at go.factor75.com/bomb130 for $130 off.
I love food.
Yum. Looking to find relief and relaxation after a long, stressful day? Ever notice that using CBD alone just doesn't cut it either? Well, try Delta Munchies. Euphoria you can taste. Delta Munchies is the leader in the hemp cannabinoid industry and specializes in delicious, award-winning gummies, vape pens, and tinctures. Similar, yet different from CBD, their products go beyond providing just stress relief alone. Users have also reported having an elevated experience that is altogether calm, euphoric, and relaxing. Delta Munchies is also revolutionizing the way you find relief by shipping straight to your door for free. Skip the line at the dispensary and shop online at www.deltamunchies.com and use code NOCHASER for 20% off your order. So then that's why I fell into the dumpster over the weekend. But I mean, we don't need to talk about that on air. Oh, we're back on. Welcome back to the Giant Bombcast, everybody.
I didn't see you all come in.
Yeah.
Take off your shoes, please.
Announce yourself. Cough when you enter a room, chat. Jesus.
Exactly. You guys are barging in on this conversation right now. But since you're back, I guess let's talk about some emails.
Mail.
Cheryl.
It's the tone equivalent for the word mail.
There we go. First email comes from Marissa in North Carolina. Hey, Bombcast.
Yeah, right.
It's possible.
I'm sorry.
Marissa Tomei in North Carolina says,
okay, likely story.
My partner and I are both gamers, trademark, and moved in together last year. Our apartment does not have room for a separate gaming lair, so we have all our consoles in the living room along with both of our TVs. This allows for side-by-side gaming while playing different games. But it feels ridiculous having two TVs, two console tables, and so many remotes in one room. Do any of you have a similar setup? Should we be grown-ups and move a TV somewhere else?
No,
Thanks.
this is right. This is the way that modern relationships can and should work. You have done it right.
There we go.
You should not feel guilty about this.
Marissa, it pains me to tell you this. It really does. But you bought the wrong house. I'm sorry. Return.
If you were to have like another room, you would still set it up like this. You want to have the side-by-side TVs. You guys each doing your own thing. This is great.
Yeah, this is why buying two toilets and putting them next to each other is a growing trend in houses, right?
They'll cross from each other so you can hold a hand. Power hands. Yes.
That's what you want. For me personally, I would be very distracted with this setup. But it's cool. It's super cool. I wish I had someone.
Do you ever play like Steam Deck or Switch on the couch while your family watches something else on the TV that you were supposed to be doing? Okay, so this is just a you thing where you're like, that's not how you engage with content. Yeah, that's fair.
So like previously at a previous apartment, we did have enough like room in our living room to have like the regular TV, which is hooked up to all the regular consoles, and our CR TV, which is hooked up to the the old school ones. And the partner would be playing, your Chrono Triggers, your Earthbounds and stuff like that over there, and I'd be playing something else on the other screen. But I found the problem was it's not crosstalk, but two different music tracks hitting each other in the same room. Very discordant. Yeah, it became like a headphones only situation. So, I mean, that's all fine and good as long as you got headphones and all that stuff. Nowadays, our living room in this other place is not as generous, not as big, and we have a little gamer closet over in this room where he hangs out with the CRTV. He has the retro urge.
Yes, get back in your gamer hole.
Get back in the gamer cave, honey.
So when y'all are like gaming in like the same room like that, is there like are you two carrying a conversation with each other? Or is it just being in physical proximity towards each other? Because I'm curious.
physical proximity.
Right.
And occasionally it'll be, well, one of us will laugh at something and we'll be like, what is it? Let me see. What's the thing? And then we'll share about that thing. So, yeah.
Okay.
I think there's ways you can rig it up to make it easier to like still hear your stuff and have a conversation. For example, the Atari speaker hat for sale now at Best Buy.
I knew it. I knew he was going to bring up the speaker hat.
He hit the quota. He found a way to work it in.
It's you just connect the Bluetooth to your thing.
There.
It's good to go.
Oh,
This is my new one too. Because my old one broke.
Yeah, he bought another one.
And that one Atari sent me, so I'm like, listen, they did good things for me, so I'm actually going to spend money on this one. It was on clearance at Best Buy, so I bought it during the Bombcast a few weeks back. So yes, it finally showed up.
Nothing free comes with that. Like they should give you something as a consolation.
I mean, they give me plenty of dirty looks from other people. Absolutely, like the two giant speaker things right on there. People have actually mostly complimented the hat I wore out the other day.
Mostly.
Yeah. No one's ever said anything bad about it, but I'm sure some people are thinking like, that's that speaker hat I heard on the Bombcast before, and I'm supposed to make fun of it. But people are like, hey, it's a cool hat. I'm like, thank you. And then I stop and tell them it's a speaker hat. It plays music, and they're like, cool. I'm like, it's pretty dirty, but okay.
How does it play music? Like, what kinds of music? Can you program it? What's it connected
to? It's a Bluetooth speaker.
It's a Bluetooth speaker. It's just a Bluetooth speaker. I listen to podcasts on it.
You control people with this? Like, no problem.
Apparently what you could do is, I've never done this, and my other one's broken, so I can't test it. Apparently you can link them up together so everyone's hats are playing the same music at the same time. And I think... Yes, or like a bunch of skateboarders coming down the street with all their Atari speaker hats playing the same thing.
I would
Very
totally
intimidating
play the
stuff.
Soundtrack to Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3.
Yes, exactly.
And 1.
There are other things like you can get these Sony like sound bars that go around your neck, and they're very weird and nerdy, but like they do work, and they just shoot the sound up, and you could still hear everything around you. I like that because my kids. So I like those sorts of things. And I can hear what they're doing, what they're saying to me if they're asking for stuff. But if you're trying to have a conversation with someone, it's like you can just play the little bit of music coming up. It feels very enveloping. And then you could still talk to other people in your room. If that's, although I say that's not to say if people just want to be in the room together, listening to their own stuff with their headphones on, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just spending time together. That still counts as spending time together. So
You're exactly right. Jeff, how often you have to charge your hat?
About once every 2 days is when I charge my hat.
Cool.
It is, and every time I plug it in, I'm like, I'm plugging in a hat.
What a cool thing you have to do.
What a cool thing. What a cool person I am as I plug in my hat to charge it. Yep.
The future rules.
Technology has really brought us very far.
Right? Yeah, they didn't stop to think if they should. Absolutely.
Exactly.
I agree.
Yep.
All right. Next email comes from Josh from Oregon. Hey, duders. I was wearing a Giant Bomb shirt, as one does, at a Newfound Glory concert when I was approached and complimented on my sweet Giant Bomb shirt. I told a friend to which he reminded me that real does, in fact, recognize real. Nice. Any good moments like this for you all? Thank you all, and keep up the good work.
Why are you leaving out the part of the email here where this person said this got them laid, it got them a new job, they have a million new friends, someone just gave them a car just for buying a shirt? This is crazy.
I didn't want to put...
we have 7 new ones? Like, right now?
You know, Josh from Oregon sent me some pictures of like his escapades, and I didn't want to share them because this is an audio podcast as well as a video. But man, Josh was having a lot of fun in one of his 7 new Giant Bomb shirts available at store.giantbomb.com. He looks like he's guilty of having a good time.
Probably not giving you that kind of result, Grubb. It's probably giving you maybe like another.
Listen, you're the boss. Legally, you have to say these things. I'm going to tell the people the truth.
Yeah, but a Newfound Glory concert to me does seem like the right kind of overlap. Considering I feel like the average age of like a Newfound concert is probably like 35. So that tracks, I think.
Yeah,
that's a nice little thing.
No one said anything to me about my Giant Bomb shirt at the Usher show. No one said anything about it.
Well, I would the average age of that might even be higher.
Fair enough.
I don't have any Giant Bomb shirts yet. No one said any yet.
I'm too big for the shirts they have, so
I don't go outside.
All that too.
Well, your semi-husband could say something like, "Hey, nice shirt."
He does have the hoodie, which I asked for like a ladies size M or something, and they didn't have ladies sizes, so Rory sent me a men's medium or small, and it's like that fits him perfecto.
Oh, okay.
Ish, medium,
Looks
exactly.
good on him.
Medium-ish.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Bombcast crew. I originally sent this question to the voicemail dump truck, but maybe it's better suited here. They've labeled their sections here in their email. Quirky intro. Longtime Beastcast listener, short-time Bombcast listener. You guys have helped me get through high school and 4 years of college. Love you all. Keep up the great work.
Damn.
Daring question.
Mentors.
I'm leaving very soon for an army deployment to a place with very limited internet and cellular capabilities for around a year. If you were in my shoes, what would you bring/download to satiate your gaming needs for a whole year? Due to the lucky Steam Deck surge, I should be getting one before I leave. I also purchased a very good gaming laptop and am planning on bringing my PS5, can't miss God of War. Game-wise, I'm planning on playing Bethesda games, The Sims, Civ 6, and more. Thank you so much, Caleb.
Good
You
choices.
you seem like you're good to go.
Yeah.
Bad choice getting recruited for the army, though. I'm sorry, kiddo.
Well, if they chose to do this, thank you for your
that
service,
seems like
Caleb.
a choice. Yeah.
If it's a choice, all right. Not my choice.
Yes,
but go ahead.
there's no draft.
There's no draft.
On my TikTok, I get like all these TikToks of like 20-year-olds or so that are in the Marines or Army, and they just ask all their bunkmates like, "Why'd you join the Marines?" And they're just like, "I don't fucking know. I'm stupid." So that's been coloring my perception.
I'm like, there's no draft. All right, I guess I'm coming back to America. I've been in Canada for years now. All right. I think that that Steam Deck's going to treat you real well. I would say that probably get a case for it. Probably get I would go that way. I don't put cases on many stuff, but if you are traveling with the military, I probably would get a case for that thing. Really go all out with the EmuDeck stuff. Make sure it's all working before you leave. I would stock it up with a ton of GameCube games, and then maybe even like, because it's a Steam Deck, the Linux stuff. Maybe even like go to like archive.org and get some like old shows that no one ever talks about. There's like Ultimate Muscle, the entire cartoon is like backed up there on archive.org. And you can download it all. It's like less than a gigabyte because it's all like really like little small files and crappy video quality, but whatever.
Crappy
You're gonna be watching
little
it on a
4Kids dub. It's so funny.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Right. It's like, go get that kind of stuff and just store that on your Steam Deck as well. And you can just, boot up the Linux thing, or put up, like, you could probably get VLC like installed on the gaming side of that, and just watch a bunch of shows on there. I think you'll be good.
Yeah, I think you could even download Blender on your Steam Deck. So if you want to, pick up some other skills while you're there, honestly, like hook up like a keyboard and a mouse, and then like learn to model.
Some Steam filmmaker porn. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. Charge it to your buddies. Yeah,
now we're thinking.
Yeah.
Start an OnlyFans. Yeah.
Rent out your Steam Deck to your bunkmates. There
That's
you go.
Business.
And safety and money from your self-made Blender porn.
Yes, all on the base. Andrew,
all Ultimate Muscle characters, Steam filmmaker porn. Absolutely. Finally, we have been underserved as a community.
Andrew from Central Illinois writes in, "Dear PodChamps, I've been happily listening to the GB cast since 2012. During this time, I've heard many hours spent discussing alcohol in varying detail, such as the Icarian flight of Four Loko, those short Mickey's bottles, and their captivating puzzle caps, and the various crimes of Buckfast wine. Now that the GB cast has ascended into its peak millennial form, shall we finally hear 5-star podcasting regarding dank-ass nugs, gravity bongs, buying reg behind the 7-Eleven, splitting long stale swishers with your own bare hands outside in the middle of a Midwestern winter of being too high for Metal Gear Solid."
Man. This person following me my entire life, like half those things. Like, yes, God.
Wait, the only thing I didn't understand was buying regs behind the 7-Eleven.
Like Reggie.
I didn't understand any of these.
Oh,
what is that?
Reg is like a skunk weed.
Oh,
like dirty, like or like cheap.
I understood everything else. Oh my god!
For the context clues, there behind the 7-Eleven, which is where you get all of your skunk weed.
Yeah. No. I get it. I feel like.
What's a long stale swisher?
It's like a swisher,
how you make a blunt.
It's a little. It's basically it's like a really, really, really shitty cigar.
Yeah.
People break them open. They take out the tobacco and they fill them with weed, and that's where you get them. That's where blunts come from. When a man loves the weed very much. Yes, exactly. Yes.
Never heard of swisher.
So that never.
Listen.
That slang for like shitty weed, like that was never a thing where I grew up.
Right, it was
no
not
one
a thing in
described
Ohio
it like
either.
that.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I think this is a lot of regional lingo getting.
Sure, most of the stuff I was familiar with, though.
Yeah, they say.
Yeah, I understood everything but that.
Central Illinois.
Gravity bongs are a hell of a thing. That's real, because you can. That's very efficient
what
way.
What are we doing with that? Like a Poland Spring bottle, like of
No, it's like water.
No, that's
water
what
and air pressure.
No, I know. I'm saying like I recall people using like the 5-gallon fucking Poland Spring thing,
right?
Like slicing that in half and just oh my god.
What's your guys' favorite weed stories that you have then, if they want to hear those?
Okay, I got one. Let me just finish off reading this email. Shall the giant bombcast finally rise up and light that kush, and in lighting said kush, illuminate the once dark caverns of podcasting itself? Regards, Andrew from Central Illinois. I time traveled because I took too many ate too much once because I wasn't feeling it because I thought it was an instantaneous effect.
I hate edibles because of that reason.
No, I love them now, though. I love them now.
I've turned the corner on edibles too.
I'm almost 40. Jesus,
I'd love to turn the corner on edibles. Anyway,
we'll get you the good stuff.
The cleanest way to ingest it for sure. Like
try one of the drinks, but we'll help you out.
That's why I want to get into it, but I keep on fucking up.
What do you mean you fuck up? Do you mean like dosage? Like you're not time management?
I get way too high and I get way too upset.
So that's just weed.
Take half and just wait and just trust the process.
Like I have taken half and then nothing will happen.
But it's not
trust the process.
Yeah, like here's the thing, like thanks to edibles, we now know exactly how much weed you're intaking, right? So like I know that like
gotten it right yet.
Right, but my point is like it's not this mystery, right? Like you can eventually deduce and understand what the right dosage for you should be.
I'd love to have the discipline to figure that out. I just haven't scientifically gotten down to it yet, and also it lasts too long.
Even it definitely lasts very long when it's edible.
It's dedication.
And then I'm uncomfortable, and then I'm upset.
Maybe tinctures might be up your alley. Actually, it's like. It's like little drops and stuff.
Oh, like liquid?
Yeah. Just let it sit under your tongue and stuff.
Pop it under the tongue. Yeah.
But isn't that the same as eating it?
Well, then you can control like how much liquid you are using, right?
Oh, okay. It's the same idea, right?
Yeah. But anyway, the story was I was at a music festival. This happened at like 12 in the afternoon, and then I time traveled until 9 p.m. And then I wound up like near the middle of the crowd to see Lionel Richie, and I don't remember that.
Of course. Of course.
And I look at my credit card statement afterwards, and then apparently my partner and I bought 4 chicken parm sandwiches.
It's crazy that you do like weed's never done that to me. I've never like lost huge like gaps of time.
I didn't know you could get blackout stoned.
Yeah.
I think if you were outside, I think there's a different effect because like you end up
really
because a lot of times when you're high, I think you stay inside and you're on that couch. You're like nothing's happening. Yeah, I'm on the couch. I watched 8 hours of Adult Swim. That doesn't feel like anything. But when you're outside, you can accomplish things, and that has a different effect. I think so. I could see that.
Interesting. I mean, I used to be like Mr. I'll do anything stoned. That was I did everything.
You couldn't play a game of hockey without like a blunt first.
There was a time in my like early 20s where like
that's
I used
time
to
with
play
every hockey player.
Yeah, exactly. I'm playing with myself as a 20-year-old like now with some of the kids on my team who were just like in the locker room sucking on a vape before they go out. Like that's very much a thing. But now forget it. I could never fucking
I can't do anything stoned. I get upset so easily. I can't watch a movie. If I lose track of the movie, I get super upset. Like I feel like my brain doesn't work.
I'm insufferable.
If I try to communicate thoughts to somebody and they don't completely understand me immediately, I get so upset. Like I'm speaking a different language and I'm all fucked up. It's so stupid.
I'm insufferable because I will continually, both my partner and I, we've developed this habit where we'll pause a movie we're watching and then like over extrapolate every single minute detail.
God, yes.
You guys are the worst.
How hard it is to make things. How amazing
if I'm drinking
it is
and stoned, I'm gonna be like, I'm going to be like, oh my God, I'm a psychic right now. I can tell you what everyone in this room is thinking right now. And it's that is completely insufferable. My favorite time is, not my favorite, one of those stories I feel like I could tell. I was just smoking. My friend, it was his birthday, so he got himself as a gift an entire sheet of LSD. And he didn't do the entire sheet, but he did like half the sheet. And it's your birthday. Go have fun. So it was very fun to just for me to be high and watch him just slowly lose his mind. And by the end of the night, he is yelling. The next day was Easter. He's like, what happened to Jesus today? What happened to Jesus today? And when the cops came eventually to do...
Why is Jesus trending? Did he die?
When the cops eventually came to deal with a man who is screaming in the middle of like Ohio State campus, what happened to Jesus today? They're just like, all right, what do we do with this man? And it's like, we're just going to say that you're publicly drunk and you're going to have to go home. I'm like, officers, I'll take this man.
Yeah, you got off easy. That's good.
Yeah.
Wow.
I actually sent a story about him. I think it was later that night where he got in a fight with geese because he like was trying to communicate with them at Mirror Lake. I think it was.
Dude, that's dangerous, man. Those fuckers are vicious. They're vicious as fuck.
Yeah, you guys read it on the Beastcast. I sent this in the Beastcast. Yeah, it was like those motherfuckers for real. And he was like, I'm gonna go have a conversation with them. I can commune with animals. It did not work for him.
Oh my best weed experience. It wasn't edible, but it was rough going before and after the fun part. We were watching something that actually had a plot, which upset me, so I couldn't follow it. So
most
I went out.
media.
I know, right? So it upset me. I went outside on the little porch, and it was sunset. And when I didn't think gravity was going to switch on me, and I was going to fall off the balcony somehow, even though I was sitting perfectly safe. It looked like The Witness. Like it was the most colors. Like I just like could see how concept artists pick out colors and stuff, and I was like, oh, it's always there. Everything's blue and orange. Holy shit! And then I calmed down enough that I could go back inside and I watched Speed Racer, which actually I was so high that it looped back around. And it sobered me up a lot. And I was like, thank God for this film.
Yes,
I'm better now.
I feel like you guys are describing like insane weed experiences where like
those are the fun ones.
But it sounds like something more than weed. It like doesn't sound like weed.
Well, a lot of times I was also drinking, absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I'm just such a huge fucking lightweight. This was half a graham cracker s'more thing.
Half a graham cracker?
It's pathetic. Like, pathetic. I was weeping. I was scared I was going to pee myself. Like, every system broke down. Every system broke.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, I'm checking something. We're not doing something at the, if we all ever eventually get together.
Right. Yeah. Scratch off.
I'm canceling a lot of plans right now. We have to help figure out a whole Tuesday now, y'all.
I'll just be the one drinking vodka. It's fine.
No,
I don't like that either. All right.
Jess is gonna like knock someone out. Just like
you can't in the same breath say I'm a lightweight and then be like I'll just be drinking vodka.
I am not a vodka lightweight. Alcohol, I'm fine with.
I'll just drink vodka.
That's fine.
Just ice. That's all I require. Just ice.
Honestly, though, yes. That's fine with me. Weed, though, I'm gone.
All right. Last email of the show. There's no question here. This is just a pleasant little story. Cooper in San Jose writes, hey, folks. With all the talk on last week's episode about VR and car commercials mocking it, I thought it might be interesting to talk about how I've used VR since gas prices have shot up. I have anxiety and have used driving as a means of recentering myself to calm down. With prices of gas skyrocketing, I wasn't able to get as much everywhere or drive as much everywhere for leisure, so I decided to use my PSVR in Gran Turismo Sport to simulate driving on different roads. It worked surprisingly well. I don't have a question for you. I just want to share this anecdote. Thanks for being awesome, everyone. Love, Cooper in San Jose. Thanks, Cooper.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Just have you tried that while you're high and freaking out? Have you just tried playing VR?
No.
Well, this is back on board now. Now we need to get you a to get you a HOTAS and you play Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Alone in a room and like, well, we'll have it labeled like, just don't. No, she's in there. No one else is allowed in there.
But I'm not flying nothing.
No.
You have to take a 5-foot bong hit before.
When it's measured in feet, that's the good stuff.
Yeah.
I'll try to drive, but that sounds scary too. But trying to fly, I will cry.
I know.
I'm scared of flying already.
I know this is like the most hyped up, over told story in recent Giant Bomb lore, but like that weed cast, it's out there. Like, that, what was it? I think
it was E3 2018.
E3 2018.
Was that Weed 3? Or was that different?
That sounds like Weed 3.
Maybe I don't know. Yeah, that's the one with the farts. So someone knows about it in the chat. So like it was me, Ben, Abby, Dan, and Alex, I think.
Aww.
And we got all fucked up, and we talked for like 90 minutes in someone's hotel room, and we just used like one of those Zoom recorders. I thought it was good, but I could tell people were starting to like get
paranoid.
Like they were just getting paranoid. I want to say
that sort of self-reflection on weed, very easy to fall into. Absolutely.
I want to say like Abby seemed to be the most freaked out, but like the vibes were cool. I think if I recall correctly, like Abby was like in bed, like she had like snuggled herself up in a blanket. And
right.
Like, this is how I'm gonna podcast.
I do that.
But it was good. It was fun. I really don't think anything that bad would have come out of it. But the only thing that did come out of it is fucking Dan's dumbass fart that he like left the room. And it's the whole thing. He left the room and he farted, and everyone heard it because it was so abhorrent.
Like, he's Dan.
And then he came back with that fucking look on his face where he's like, I've done nothing wrong. Everything's cool. and like the five of us were like, you psycho, you just fart. Like, you need to change your pants because whatever you just did was so gross.
On the mic and everything.
Yeah, it got picked up like perfectly clear. It sounded just like someone stepped on a duck 20 feet away. But anyway.
All right. That just about does it for emails this week. If you want to send an email in about, I don't know, farting stories or those dank ass nugs, feel free to send them to Bombcast.
Fighting geese. I want to hear stories about fighting geese.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, they're brutal. Keep your distance.
Bombcast at giantbomb.com. We got an obscene amount of things popping off this week. Game Mess Mornings for the rest of the week with Jeff Grubb and friends. Arcade Pit tomorrow. Got an episode of Albummer with Dan on it. And boy, I'm excited for this one because I actually kind of like this album that they're going to do. We also have a build a bumper sticker test stream for premium folks.
Yes.
That'll be premium only. Sorry, that won't be on Twitch.
Yeah, just a test. We're just doing a little testy test.
Just a little
trying it out.
Just a little try.
Yeah.
We talked about it before on some other podcasts. Had bumper sticker conversations, and now it's like,
it's materializing.
Merch this or something. Let's find out.
Yes. We're also going to put together a squad of folks to play Fortnite. All of us will be John Cena. Oops, all Cenas.
Oops, all Cenas.
Dump Truck is always on Thursdays. UPF this Friday. And then
I think we're delaying the dump truck a couple hours though, right? There's some meeting.
Yes, we gotta move around the dump truck.
Yeah, just an hour, I think.
Yeah, it's fine.
Shimmying a little bit.
We just backed it up into a different parking spot.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we gotta. It takes an hour longer to get it out of the pound. So the impound. You know what? There's also a brand new season, ladies and gentlemen, and anime freaks. Of Jeff's Bizarre Adventure. We've recorded the first 2 episodes.
Yes.
Episode 1 of season 2, which is Stardust. What is it? Crusaders. That shit is coming out tomorrow. We had a lot of fun with Tam, Lucy, John, and myself.
I must insist, by the way, Bakalar, if you're the type of guy that skips the intros of the animes you watch, do not ever skip the intro of Stardust Crusaders.
So I watch we record them in like 4 anime episodes, like blocks. So I'll watch the intro song once for my 4. I can't watch it every single time.
You gotta watch it every time. You got.
No, it's not.
You got to watch it.
There's like I don't like skipping the intros to a lot of things, right? but like
intros are the best part of most TV shows. Legit.
Yeah, like Stranger Things, stuff like that. Like it's definitely really, really quality.
I watched YouTube compilations of just TV intros, and like there's a lot of motion and sound. This is good.
Like a normal person. But yeah, it's what a season so far. This ridiculous show.
What a season it's been.
This Stardust Crusaders, oh baby.
I'm gonna listen to this because I have no idea what Stardust Crusaders is. So I'm gonna watch along and I'll listen.
Yeah, it's just the next part of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Okay, well, then I'll watch. I've never watched any JoJo, so I'll do that.
It's a good place to start if you want to start at a random spot that has no context, but it's pretty good.
Yeah,
the intro's really good, Mr. Bakalar. And
I know. I watched it.
I must insist, because I got a little spoiler for you. The intro changes a little bit later on. It's gonna blow your fucking mind when it does.
All right, so I'll get tipped off from those guys, and they'll tell me. Yeah,
it's way crazier when you've been watching it the whole time and it just happens and you don't expect it. It's just like, oh, what?
Oh, that's cool.
I screamed when it happened. I screamed when it changed.
I respect
that. I was.
I respect that.
Patrick Klepek's going to be on Game Us Mornings on Friday. So
breaking news.
Want to hang out with Scoops? You want to hang out with Scoops a little bit? Come in on Friday morning, 11 a.m. Pacific or Eastern time, 8 a.m. Pacific time. So
that's awesome.
Come hang out with us. It'll be fun.
Very cool.
Soft, very, 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 very soft commitment about perhaps talking over the Pokemon Direct tomorrow morning. We'll see.
So early.
How soft is it? On the hardness scale of 1 to 5, are we at like a 1?
Like a soft, like 3.5.
Oh, that's not that soft. That's al dente, but it's not soft.
It's like it's still in the. It's you're about to overboil the pasta. That's what's happening here.
Got it.
Yeah. And then all right. Tune into the Giant Bombcast next week. I've been Jan Ochoa. She has been Jess O'Brien. He's been Jeff Grubb. He's been Jeff Bakalar. We'll see you next Tuesday, everybody. You can put pants on. I don't know.
You shouldn't.
I can? I should have worn them.
You can put your pants on.
But you shouldn't. Yeah.
Giant Bombcast is hosted and live produced by Jan Ochoa, with support from Jeff Grubb, Dan Reichert, Jess O'Brien, Lucy James, Tamor Hussein, Jason A. Stryker, Matthew Rory, and me, Jeff Bakalar. Theme music is provided by Tom Monda. Our logo is designed by Dave Schopenek. You can find him online with the handle @DaveSavedTheDay. Justin Vachon is our sweet little art boy. Thank you so much for listening. Of course, kiss on the cheek to you at home.